Yeah, last year I thought that actually happened.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, the radio commercials were...
It seemed convincing.
very, very convincing.
Yeah. Trust me, I've made similar mistakes.
All right, at the box office this weekend, Beetlejuice managed to grab first place once again, but Transformers 1 took second place, followed by Speak No Evil. Never Let Go was in fourth, and Deadpool and Wolverine still hanging in the top 5 as well. Millie Bobby Brown and Jake Bon Jovi got married again. The two lovebirds reportedly had a second wedding in Italy this weekend, and this follows the couple tying the knot in May earlier this year. An insider told The Sun that Millie and Jake have booked a huge British singer to perform at the wedding, but they didn't reveal who. This insider said she was one of the biggest names in music this year, so they are delighted that she is flying over to, especially for them. But
huge British singer, one of the biggest names in music this year.
Adele, maybe?
Adele. Dua Lipa.
It said this year, maybe not Adele. Maybe somebody more current. I don't know. I don't know. Out of my realm. While the couple's wedding in May was low-key, they apparently planned to go all out on this bigger wedding in Italy. And they reportedly invited all their friends, including the Stranger Things cast mates.
There was footage of her doing this, this little, Eggo waffle eating girl from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And it throws you off, when you see, it's like, wow, it's a full, attractive woman. And it seems like they're two separate people, but you forget how many years have lapsed since the beginning of Stranger Things. Yep. And, this a great performer. I love the stuff she's been doing recently.
We got one more season coming next year, and then hopefully some kind of spinoffs, and they'll continue in that realm.
It's too good.
The Duffer Brothers, they do it right, and there's still plenty of material to go to, I'm sure. Kim Kardashian recently visited Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility near San Diego to discuss prison reform with a group of 40 inmates, including Notorious Brothers Eric and Lyle Menendez.
We have some special guests today, the Menendez brothers.
Joined by her sister Chloe, mom Kris Jenner,
fanboy,
producer Scott Budnick, and actor Cooper Koch, who plays Eric in Netflix's Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story.
I saw that pop up.
Yeah.
So is it a different viewpoint than they normally give when they do their stories, or no?
So there are a couple of schools of thought on this. This is the Ryan Murphy deal. There is a camp that believes they were abused terribly by their father. Right. And so that camp has gained a little bit of traction recently. I don't know if that's the angle they're taking on this, but yeah.
And even if you are, you have this abusive thing going on in your house, you can't take the shotgun and go kill. But the group focused on criminal justice reform initiatives, including Green Space, a prison yard beautification project led by Lyle Menendez. The meeting comes after Eric Menendez recently criticized Ryan Murphy's Netflix series, calling it inaccurate portrayal of the lives and the abuse they endured. Despite Kim's close ties with Murphy following their collaboration on American Horror Story, the group's focus remained on their shared commitment to prison reform, avoiding any tension over Eric's comments. And by the way, I have a little bit more about that statement that he made. He said officially on social media, it is with a heavy heart. This is through his wife, by the way. With a heavy heart that I say, I believe that Ryan Murphy cannot be this naive and inaccurate about the facts of our lives so as to do this without bad intent. He also No, he's not apologizing.
He's not apologizing. No, he has no reason to apologize.
He also says the series revives dishonest narratives about their lives, accusing the series of misrepresenting of male trauma and sexual abuse.
As far as the prison reform, Casey, they want a swim spa.
They do?
Is that what they want?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean...
Come on.
Yeah. It's exercise.
It's good for them.
Yeah. Olivia Munn and John Mulaney have welcomed their second child. And this is a cute name. I like it. So their daughter's name is May. It's spelled M-E-I. But the middle name is June. So it's May June Mulaney.
That's cute.
Which is kind of cute. Born via surrogate, September 14th. The couple shared the happy news on Instagram yesterday, posting photos of their newborn.
Did they ever entertain May Menendez?
No, I don't think they did. Olivia, who was diagnosed with breast cancer last year, expressed her emotions about not being able to carry her daughter and thanked their surrogate for making their dreams come true.
By the way, she's gone through a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
She looks terrific. I mean, I give her all the credit in the world because she had to make some really tough decisions. But second kid, they seem to be doing well. That's very cool.
Mulaney also announced the arrival of May with a heartfelt post sharing the same images along with a sweet video of him burping the baby. And he humorously mentioned that he stole so much stuff from the hospital and expressed his deep love for their new daughter. In addition to baby May, they also have a 2-year-old son, Malcolm. Before welcoming May, Olivia had undergone a round of egg retrieval after her double mastectomy, despite the risk due to her hormone-sensitive cancer. In an interview with Michael Strahan, she shared the emotional moment when they learned that the two had healthy embryos, bringing them hope for an expanding family. So 2 kids now, they're doing well. Good for them. Mama June has officially gotten custody of her late daughter, Anna Cardwell's daughter, Caitlin. Mama June had to get this all decided by a court because Anna's ex-husband, Michael Cardwell, had challenged her position in court. The court, I'd forgotten that she had a daughter that passed away.
Yeah, the daughter passed away. It's very sad. What was her pseudonym?
Oh, man, I don't know.
The dad is Sugar Bear, and they all have some sort of bear.
The court officially ordered that legal and physical custody of the minor child is to remain with Mama June. Michael has been given visitation rights, however. Caitlin moved in with Mama June before Anna passed away due to cancer. Caitlin reportedly testified that she wanted to keep living with Mama June, so that's going to happen. All right, like mother, like daughter, Angelina Jolie revealed in an interview that she and her 16-year-old daughter, Vivienne, got matching tattoos during their time working on the Broadway musical The Outsiders. She said, I got Stay Gold with my daughter, Viv, during our time with The Outsiders.
I didn't even realize this was going on. I didn't even realize there was a musical. I assume this is a musical version of the Hinton, The Outsiders.
Yeah. The phrase refers to the title of one of the original songs featured in the play with Jolie, co-produced with the assistance of Vivienne. So you remember Stay Gold and Pony Boy. So they got Stay Gold.
When you and your mom got matching tattoos,
yes.
What did you get?
I got what did we get? I have so many of them. It's hard
Back off for a child.
That's your nutsack.
That's what
you got.
That's your nutsack.
With an arrow.
Back off for a child, seriously.
So let's see here. The phrase refers to the title of one of the original songs. Like I said, Jolie's tattoo is on her wrist. She didn't reveal where her daughter's tattoo was. Also of note, it's unclear where exactly Vivienne got inked, as it is illegal to get inked before you turn 18, though some states allow it with parental permission.
What is it the same deal with it's not the same deal with getting like earrings or piercings, right? In other words, because I know people get babies' ears.
Right.
Yeah, but the parents take them.
So you can get the tattoo with parental permission.
It's the same thing. You can take your kid to go get a tattoo.
You can take your baby to get a tattoo.
Yeah. Continued encouraging news on the Kate Middleton front. Last week, we told you the princess had returned to work for the first time since finishing chemotherapy and being declared cancer-free. Yesterday, she made her first public appearance since wrapping chemo, and attended church with Prince William, King Charles III, and Queen Camilla as well. So they were out in public, and she is...
And they took mopeds to church.
Really? Yes. That must have been cute.
It would be fun to motor to the church this way.
Yes. Page 6 caught up with Gilmore Girls star Scott Cohen at the premiere of The Penguin last week, when Cohen revealed a near-death experience for the actor and his wife, Anastasia Trina. I explained that they had been involved in a head-on car crash in June. Yeah. And as a result, it was being caught up in a high-speed chase. Cohen said, we thought we were dead. My wife's arm is all messed up. I have a broken sternum, which is supposed to be never healing.
Oh, man.
And he said it's like called a non-union break, and it's never going to heal.
So
that sounds like you're stepping out for a cigarette.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Taking a non-union break.
Yeah. Where are you going?
Thankfully, he has recuperated enough to attend the premiere. He portrays...
Why don't we take a 5-minute break?
You can't take a non-union break.
By the way, he plays Luca Falcone in the Max series.
Steve, did you start watching this yet?
I did. And
Okay.
Nick, when I started watching it, I was kind of half involved. And I'm like, I'm coming back to this fully because, Preston, it's good.
Yeah?
It's really, at least 10 minutes I saw it. I'm like, this is going to be solid.
It looks like there's not... is there any superhero stuff going on yet?
So right now, no.
Because Penguin just seems to me like a gangster. And I want to see gadgets and Batman lore. You know what I mean?
If you love the tone and tenor of the Batman, which I did, and his portrayal... Now the big question is, do we get a Batman visit or whatever? We don't know. But right now, what I did you watch it?
I have not watched it yet. No.
What I was fed in that opening sequence works for me.
I would have to think that Robert Pattinson's going to show up at some point, right?
Something.
Because there's going to be a second movie.
Or maybe they get their dry cleaning confused.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The hell is this?
But also, the Penguin, the character was known for these gadgets and the umbrellas and stuff like that. I want to see a little bit of that. I'm hoping that they dive into that.
My guess is not a lot will work. It's going to be more, as you said, more mafia-ish.
Yeah.
In fact, he has a mafia, a crime boss daughter.
Okay.
Daughter?
All right. Well, Gladiator 2 is not even out yet, but director Ridley Scott is apparently already working on Gladiator 3.
Let's see how this does first.
And if he's already working on a sequel, that means we might see a third movie a little quicker than it took to make a second movie. The
Is
first
this Gladiators in Paradise?
The first Gladiator came out 24 years ago.
Oh, my God.
So he said, he was talking to a Francis Premier magazine and said, I'm already toying with the idea of Gladiator 3. He said, no, seriously, I've lit the fuse. The ending of Gladiator 2 is reminiscent of The Godfather, he said, with Michael Corleone finding himself with a job he didn't want and wondering, now what do I do, Father? So the next film will be about a man who doesn't want to be where he is. For now, Gladiator 2 is set to hit theaters on November 22nd.
The first one was a great movie. The advance on this second one is that it's not very good.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's okay.
All
you
right.
know.
Yeah, you should probably wait and see if if anybody likes it
Whoops.
before you move on to the third one. So, Netflix has released the first teaser trailer for the upcoming second season of Squid Game. The teaser picks things up right after season one's finale, apparently, when Song Ji-hun abandoned his plans to go to the U.S. and instead decided to get back in the game. In the short teaser, he appears back in his 456 uniform amid a crowd of new contestants. Season 2 sees Lee Jong-jae, Lee Byung-hun,
And who that guy?
Wee Ha-jun, and Gong Yu reprise their roles as survivors of the deadly game.
I enjoyed Squid Games. I know people were ravenous for it. Did you guys watch it?
I didn't.
Yeah.
You did.
What'd you
I
think?
did. I enjoyed it. I watched it differently than you, though, because I watched the dubs and not the subs.
Yeah.
So
I watched the subs, and not the dubs.
Squid Game Season 2 will debut on December 26th.
To that point, by the way, about the subs and dubs, because of the technology, the way they can do it now, like, for example, they're saying, Godzilla -1, the dubbed version is superior because they're actually able
yeah.
To tweak the mouths.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So so things, mind you, there are going to be some trade-offs in subtleties and in dialogue, culturally, but they're saying that is going to be less of an issue.
Interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting. Netflix has also given fans first look at season 2 of Wednesday. The show, of course, starring Jenna Ortega as Wednesday Addams, began filming in May and is set to premiere next year. And the teaser gives fans a quick look at the cast, including Catherine Zeta-Jones, Luis Guzman, Emma Myers, and more. It also shows off the set of Nevermore Academy once again, where Wednesday deals with supernatural mysteries and some typical school problems as well.
I love that show so much.
It was great.
It really was.
The teaser is a lot of kind of behind the scenes stuff. It's not really giving you a bunch of views of exactly what we'll see, but it's enough to kind of make you go, all right, I'm excited about this. Zeta-Jones promises that this season is going to be bigger and more twisted than you can ever imagine. And thankfully, the teaser doesn't spoil anything. Ortega's character voiceover says, if we showed you any more, your eyes would bleed, and I'm not that generous. All right, and then one more story. The West Wing, considered by many to be one of the greatest television series of all time, The Aaron Sorkin created show, which ran from 1999 to 2006, of course, covered the White House. Sorkin and the cast of The West Wing visited the real White House last week to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the show, and apparently it left him feeling in some kind of way.
Aw.
And he told Variety, if I had an idea, sure, talking about doing a reboot. He said, I didn't think about it seriously, frankly, until today. We'll see what happens when I wake up tomorrow. And he said, but if you're asking me now, this is how I feel. I just got a couple of ideas for episodes just walking around the White House. Like, why didn't we ever do this? And why didn't we ever do that?
He also said he was inspired to work on a reboot of Growing Pains, which I thought was kind of odd.
Well,
yeah.
We need one of those.
Yeah.
Aaron Sorkin writing Growing Pains skits.
All right. We got clips to play. How does the producer of ER, The West Wing, and Shameless end up making a show about lifeguards in Hawaii?
How?
In this clip, John Wells himself explains the connection and his commitment to getting it right.
I've had a house on the North Shore of Kauai for 26 years. Then it inevitably takes you to talking about the lifeguards who are the heroes of the North Shore of Oahu. One of the things we learned when we were doing ER was to make certain that we had the real professionals, and they all spend a tremendous amount of time making certain that we're doing it exactly right.
Shut the f*** up!
Part 2 of Rescue High Surf's 2-night premiere airs tonight on Fox.
I had a house in Hawaii for 26 years.
Here's the next clip. At the end of this season of The Voice, the winner will walk away with $100,000 and a record deal with Universal. And here, Judge Gwen Stefani recalls being 17 years old and stepping into a recording studio for the first time.
My dad somehow knew some dude that had a studio in his backyard because we'd never recorded because it cost money. And so he had his friend give us like the backyard, and we went in there and did some demos in there, and it would just look like a spaceship to me. I was like so naive, and the glass and like the whole thing, like just didn't even know that existed.
Shut the f*** up!
The Voice season 26 premieres tonight on NBC. That's your entertainment.
There we go. That's all you need.
That's all.
I mean, if you are a neophyte, if you've never heard any entertainment news in your life, you're now completely caught up.
There you go.
Yeah.
Everything you need to know.
Everything you need to know.
Done in one shot right there. All right, well, we welcome you to Monday morning. If you're just tuning in, we got a few things going on today. We have Good Money It coming up. 8 o'clock, your first shot at winning $1,000. We'll do it again at 10, and then it happens throughout the day, noon, and 3 and 5. We also have today on this program a pair of tickets to see Metallica, both of their shows, May 23rd and 25th. At the Link next year. It's 10 days of Metallica, and we're just the first chance today. There are 3 chances today, 3 chances each day until we wrap this thing up. So do not miss your opportunity. There is a cheat sheet available at WMMR.com if you want to find out the times when the song is going to be played, so you're just ready to go, and hopefully you walk away with those tickets. We also are going to get today in the 8 o'clock hour, Kathy's Fall Activities. Yep, the Fall Activities list is going to be revealed today, so make sure you don't miss any of that. We also are going to have Aaron Manger of Disco Biscuits stopping in this morning. There's an event coming up that he wants to share with us. So, and we got to recap the MMRBQ. We'll probably do that next.
Yeah, I think so.
Because we've got such a full plate today. So we'll come back in a second. If you had moments of the MMRBQ you'd like to share or chat about, make sure you get ready. We'll have you call in. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us. Preston and Steve. There was something you wanted to show us?
Well, I have a couple of things. I have another audio thing, something I had told you about off the air, and then I got this thing that I learned about yesterday. So I want everybody to take your iPhones out real quick and pull up an iTunes.
Now take your tops off.
Pull up an iTunes?
Pull up your iTunes. Pick out any song in your iTunes. I don't care which song it is.
I haven't used iTunes.
I had to delete my iTunes.
No.
Really? Why?
Storage concerns on my phone. I moved it on. Well, we don't need to hear about it on air.
Gotcha.
It's a porn thing.
Yeah, I have way too much porn on my phone.
Pull up anything you're saying?
Anything, and also take your headphones off real quick. Well, just in a second, you're gonna have to take your headphones off.
Okay. Does it matter what song I choose?
No, it does not matter.
Song?
Whatever song you want to hear.
Well, now I got to go through and find a song I want to hear.
Took the first one that it came up.
All right, I got one.
All right, you got one? All right, so take your headphones off.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, now press play on your iTunes and stick the speaker part of your iPhone in your mouth like this.
Okay.
And close your lips over it.
What the hell is going on?
Seriously.
And we're all doing this at the same time?
All do it at the same time. Everybody press play. All right, all the way. No. All right, now cover your ears. Both your ears.
I refuse to do this.
Well, you can't hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like bone phones, earphones.
Kathy, why are you not doing it?
It won't fit in my mouth.
Yes,
Oh,
it
Jesus.
will. Oh, my God, yes, it will.
Say that again, real. Say that again.
Okay, so I see what you're saying. You can hear it a little bit more. I could hear it even without putting my hands over my ears.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what is if you're driving? Is there a way to listen to it without having the phone in your mouth?
Right. It's like bone induction.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. Bone induction speakers.
We have a couple of the earphones my wife uses when she swims.
Yeah, well,
She
how much
loves
did
them.
those cost? This is for free,
You just
bro.
stick her
shove
phone
the
in her
phone
mouth and look
and
like
plug
an
up your
imbecile.
ears.
You know what? You know how you have that keep warm function on your oven?
Yeah.
Try putting the dinner rolls in your ass.
Kathy, why did you not do it?
As this was all going on, I just hear, because we had to take our headphones off, I just hear Steve go, I refuse to do this.
Thanks for playing along, bro.
Well, I couldn't get my Asia song to play, which would have been so cool.
I did do it, Casey.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Put it in your mouth?
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't see it.
I did.
He didn't
Preston.
do it.
All right,
No.
here's
I
the
just
thing.
did it.
Try this when you get home, Kathy.
Okay.
Draw a nice bath. Get in it.
Yeah.
Take your electric hair dryer. Dip it in the water. You'll be able to hear Prince.
While it's plugged
Yeah.
in.
The speakers have gotten much better on these phones. My son was listening to, he was watching a YouTube video or something like that, and he was in the other room, and I was almost like, turn that damn music down.
I'm trying to listen to my story on my Stephen King story.
But it's gotten, you remember the old phones, like if you, for some reason, didn't have a Bluetooth speaker or something to hook it into, and you tried valiantly, yes, exactly, to listen to something through it, which is terrible. It's gotten much better. They're definitely a lot louder.
I'm listening to Pearl Jam. Listen.
It won't fit in my mouth.
Yes, it will. Oh, my God, yes, it will.
It won't fit in my mouth.
All right. Let's see here. Amazon has renewed. I don't know why I just went, but I did.
Sounded cool.
Amazon has renewed.
Now the news focuses on Iraq. We go down to Jim Iglesiasky at the Pentagon. I'm trying to throw it back to you, Tom, but I can't do a chicken fart.
Having a hard time today.
Chicken fart. Amazon has renewed The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel for a 4th season run. That's good news. The show, which has won multiple Emmys and Golden Globes, just received 2 more Golden Globes nominations for Best Television Series and Best Actress for Rachel Brosnahan.
I'm watching season 3 right now, and it really is. It's a great show, but it's tiring watching that show. The amount of dialogue that they jam in.
It's rapid fire.
It's so rapid fire.
And
It's like an Aaron Sorkin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She speaks so quickly.
Oh my God.
And I will miss stuff. I do have to back it up from time to time just to catch all the dialogue. It's great.
It's done in that sort of period piece dialogue delivery way.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So, Black Christmas opens this weekend. It's a horror film directed by Sophia Takal.
I love Christmas horror movies.
It stars Imogen Poots, Carrie Elways, Brittany O'Grady, Lily Donghue, and Elise Shannon. It's about a killer terrorizing sorority sisters during Christmas time. PG-13, hour and 32 minutes, no score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Imogen Poots. I mean, you're picking a stage name.
I know.
You know,
Change that one. That's like Kelly Queef. Unless you're a porn star, right? Bella Balloon Knot. I thought the same thing, Case.
Imogen Poots. Okay, we're going to sit down here for a second. We've got a whole bunch of names that we can pick.
Yeah.
It's a real name.
I narrowed it down to 5. Well, then change it.
Yeah, there are stage names available.
It says here your name is Poop Dribble.
Oh my God, Casey, her middle name is Gay.
No!
Yeah.
Imogene Gay Poots.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Dude, what is wrong with her parents?
Nick, has she been in anything? Pull up her.
She has striking blue eyes, according to IMDb.
Well, was she in the?
Oh yeah.
She was in 28 Weeks Later.
Yes,
she was in Green Room.
And she's also in. She's in.
That Awkward Moment and A Long Way Down are her notable.
She's in Never Stop, Never Stopping.
Is she?
Pop star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is she in that? Right?
Yes.
Yeah. She's got beautiful eyes.
Imogene Gay Poots. Yeah. Imogene Poots.
She poots.
She's beautiful. Yeah, we just pulled up a photo of her, and she stars in Black Christmas. In celebration of its 125th anniversary, the New York Public Library, which is the second largest in the U.S. after the Library of Congress, has released...
Throwing out the books?
No. They released its list of the top 10 checked out books of all time. And in
Is
first
one of them Goldfinger?
place, no.
Mr. Goldfinger.
No.
One of the most popular books at the New York Library. It's on the list.
In first place, I'll just start right at the top here, is the children's picture book, The Snowy Day by Ezra Jack Keats.
I don't even know that.
It's about a child enjoying his city's first snowfall.
I don't know that book. Yeah.
Oh, I know this book. I love this book when I was
terrible.
a kid. Absolutely.
Get the Caldecott Award. Yeah, the Caldecott medal. I remember that. Remember the little imprint on the
it's
front
a
of it?
gold sticker that would be a gold
Sticker on this scrappy book about a kid walking in the snow.
Gold.
sticker.
It's not. It is on the list.
Yeah.
It's on the list.
It's number one on the list.
Number one.
So, I think, you'd find that on Where the Wild Things Are and maybe The Hungry Caterpillar, those classic ones. Another book, Dr. Seuss's The Cat in the Hat, was in second place.
Okay.
Were you a Seuss fan as a kid?
Oh, yeah. Very much so. And in fact, I've been going through a cleaning out process at our house, and
Great purge.
I found we found way too many books that we need to get rid of, and so I did, and I donated them to the Laurel House thrift shop that raises money for the Laurel House. But we kept all of our Dr. Seuss books. And I had to stop and flip through Go Dog Go, and I had to look through the birthday book, and
Two Girls in a Cup.
2 Girls in a Cup.
It was the most wonderful cup it was.
There are a lot of Dr. Seuss books, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I see two girls in a cup.
Dozens.
I say to you, girls, can you tell me what's up?
I'll tell you what's up. Just look in the cup.
You'll know
After
this.
watching that, you won't be able to sup.
It's full of throw up.
And upchuck.
Okay.
It's full of throw up.
Come on, man.
Maybe you want to consider the shortest commercial flight in the world.
Really?
Yes. How long would you guys think the shortest commercial flight in the world is?
I'm going to say, because I've been on some super short ones, 20 minutes. I'm going to say 6 minutes.
Okay. Anybody else?
That's probably a good guess. The shortest one I ever did was Philly to JFK, and it was a part of an international flight. So we started in Philly, went to JFK, picked up a whole bunch more people, and then went from JFK on.
And how long was that?
That was like 20.
Yeah,
25,
I've done that flight before. Yeah.
We stayed on the same plane. It was a 747, and most of the passengers they picked up were in New York, but that was just our flight.
That's what Annabelle does.
Yes. Anybody else? Shortest
I have
flight.
no guess.
All right. No guess. You have no guess.
I think it's got to be about, because by the time you take off and you land, I'm going to say 15 minutes.
Okay. Shortest flight in the world is 90 seconds.
90 seconds.
Come on. Stop it.
Wow.
Tucked away in the Northern Isles of Scotland, Scottish regional airline Loganair operates the 1.7-mile flight between islands Westray and Papa Westray. While the flight is scheduled for 90 seconds, typically it runs closer to 60 seconds.
There you go. With the trade winds.
So I guess it's either that or a ferry, or maybe they don't have a ferry on that particular side of the island.
I mean, you can't, like, how high is the plane getting?
It's essentially, for the people who live there, but it's a legitimate flight that is necessary. They carry teachers and students and visiting.
In 10 seconds, we're going to turn off the seatbelt sign. Around the cabin. Then in 15 seconds after that, I'll put it back on. Ask you to return to your seat.
Tourists and
welcome aboard Flight 414. Thank you for flying Flight 414.
and island residents traveling to and from mainland Orkney for a range of appointments.
I would have
stewardess is going to turn on the hose and begin in-flight beverage service.
Open your mouth.
If I regularly did that flight, I would have to try and hold my breath for the duration.
Yeah,
of the,
see if you can make it. Yeah.
It's kind of like whenever I go through the Lehigh Tunnel, I'm like, all right, I got to hold my breath.
You know what? Next time you do that, sing the last line of Happy Birthday and see if you can hold it the whole way through. It's also Maude Adams' birthday today, Steve. You know her?
Yes. She's been in 2 Bond movies.
Only one actress to play a Bond girl twice.
Yeah.
2 different Bond girls?
Two different Bond girls.
Okay.
She's in The Man with the Golden Gun, and she's Octopussy. She has 8 vaginas.
Why didn't they just say that?
I don't know where to begin. Does anyone have a bookmark? I don't want to hit the same ones again.
If anybody could handle 8 vaginas.
I'm good, but I'm not that good. I tapped out after number 6. Q, why don't you get in on this?
Everybody, 007.
When she queefs, it must sound like the mothership in Close Encounters. Bah, bum, bah.
Right, Kathy?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
It must sound like the Boston Pops, right, Preston? Think about it. That's the Tijuana Brass. Unbelievable.
When Octopussy queefs. Okay.
That was the song from that movie, When Octopus Queefs.
Great Bond song.
Octopussy queefs. Ba-da-da-da-da.
Sung by Sheena Easton.
Really?
Octopussy
She must have been a kid.
MMR.
Thank you, Kathy. Well, it came and went, MMRBQ, and we all survived. And we had one hell of a good time on Saturday.
So good. Again, the September calendar dates. Got to be it for here on in. Glorious.
And what's interesting, though, is the amount of things that were going on in and around our region on Saturday night alone. The Savannah Bananas show or game was sold out at Citizens Bank Park.
45,000.
45,000. Yeah, there were a few other things that were taking place on that day. So it was a very popular day to do stuff, but we had a huge crowd at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion who were there specifically for the MMRBQ and all that it was.
Did it have a feeling of it did for me as sort of a homecoming? I encountered so many people
very much
from
so.
years past.
Yeah, we had reunions that were happening with the staff of MMR, from our interns to former, full-time staff here that we were running into left and right. I ran into so many former interns of ours.
Yeah.
And we've had so many of them that they had to remind me who exactly they were.
Yep. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yes, absolutely. Yep, I remember.
Jailbait?
Jailbait. Frick was another. I don't know if you saw it.
I saw Frick, yeah. By the way, Jailbait is a guy. Just
Yeah.
And
clarify that.
Clarify.
Yeah.
The 2 young ladies. Oh, I can't remember.
Blair was one of them, right?
Oh my God!
And former intern Matt, I saw tons of them from our engineering department. Betsy, I hadn't seen her in ages.
Oh, yeah,
Steve
it was so
Lushbaugh was there.
It's great to see him.
Lush, that was excellent.
MMR legend.
Yeah, so that was cool for us on a personal level. But the day was beautiful. The weather could not have been any better. And it was just exciting from the get-go, everything. And we got started early, because we had the side stage to kind of run. Well, actually, even before that, we did a live broadcast. Normally, and I want to make sure this happens every year, that they give us an hour to pop on the air and do a shift.
I love that. Especially since we got to we got to interview your girl crushes.
Yes, the warning. We had them come over and to the broadcast area, which was really, really cool. And we had a great interview. All three of them were just excited about the show. And they were a little tired, too, because they've been playing a lot of shows. They're touring to support a new album, so they're just doing as many dates as they can. They played Chicago the night before.
Yeah.
And so they were a little bit wiped out. But, man, they brought it. I went down into the pit for their set, and it was absolutely awesome. But they were cool, man, and they had a bunch of people that traveled from all over to come see them. There was a group of people standing in front of our broadcast tent that were from Massachusetts who had come to the MMRBQ just to see the warning. And that was cool. They weren't, nothing brought them to Philly other than that band.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty awesome.
No, it was cool.
I think before Saturday, I may have taken Hailstorm and Lizzie Hale for granted because I'd seen them before, but I did not appreciate them as much as I did after that show on Saturday. I was lucky enough to be on the side of the stage for a little bit, and then they did that whole drum solo and the drum show, and I was on the stage for that. The entire stage was vibrating.
Yeah.
Like the energy from everybody in that band. Their drummer's incredible. She's incredible. The way that she wails and just the energy she brings to the stage. I was so impressed by it.
Yep.
Yes, she's amazing. She's a performer, and you guys know I love that. But backstage, I found out that they were probably like as big of fans as us as we are of them.
So I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
But Josh Smith's in particular.
And her too.
The bass player, her too. But Josh had, I was sitting there talking to him, and Casey got some pictures of me talking to him in the wings. And he was just like, I can't believe I'm meeting you guys. He's like, I can't believe I'm here in person and meeting you guys. And he was asking me questions, Kathy. He was going like, so you're still training in martial arts? Or and he's like, how often are you still playing the drums? And I'm like, God, you know all this stuff about me. I'm like, you're a rock star.
Press, he was like, Kathy. And he like tapped me, and I looked at him. I'm like, me?
Yeah.
Like, is there another Kathy here? I don't understand. And he was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know. Said the same things to me. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you still training in martial arts? Do you still play the drums?
Yeah.
Usually, I'm not used to answering questions from the artists and stuff, and it was the same thing, same guy. We were taking pictures. He's like, man, I listen to you every single day when I was working with my family business, and blah. I was like, my family.
What?
I'm like, you?
Rockstar.
Let me tell you something, though. They are as authentic as you can be.
Yeah.
Lizzie Hale, and the whole band, but Lizzie especially.
She's just giving out hugs left and right. You know?
Sincere.
Yeah.
And so I was saying to everyone, they say, you want to see a clinic on how to treat your fan base and how to treat people?
Yep.
And it didn't matter who you were. You got an authentic smile and a hug and a conversation.
Yeah.
And that's why their longevity is guaranteed, because not only are they great artists, but they're dialed into the people who love them.
They were also fired up for the show.
Yeah.
Like in the hallway, leading up, getting ready. They were all psyched up. RJ, the drummer, Lizzie's brother, he was just, I mean, like he was bouncing off the walls. He was so excited to get out and play, and then just killed it. I mean, this guy is way better than I thought he was. Like, I didn't think he was, mediocre by any stretch. And he was a great drummer, but he was absolutely fantastic. His solo was incredible, and the stick tricks he was doing.
Did you see when he played with the giant sticks?
I did.
Okay.
He had these huge, oversized, cartoony giant drumsticks.
They're like baseball bats.
Yeah.
I'd never seen that before.
Neither had I.
Well, he needed that because he hits so hard. I watched him break a drumstick.
Oh, my God.
And it was so funny because I see this piece go flying, right? And then I just see what's left of the other drumstick. It was just like limp. It was
They were just tweaking the drums before we were going to bring them on. Preston, you remember this?
Yeah.
And they're just tapping one, and the stage just started shaking.
Yeah.
It was just amazing.
Yeah, they were something else, man. I was really, really stoked about their performance and how great they were just as a show. And the crowd ate it all up. So Lizzie and her voice, my God.
Yeah.
I was standing with Caroline, and we were off to the side, and I'm like, listen to this.
Yeah.
She was hitting these notes and holding these big ass, she makes them sound raspy and full and all. It was just incredible.
Yeah, it was great to be there for that. And then obviously there was a lot that we could not see because the side stage was fantastic.
Yeah, man,
the
that was a
setup
ball.
was great. All the entertainers who came out all the performers, and the stories were all different. There was just people kind of passively doing it. They wanted a shot at singing in front of a live audience, and people who were in bands. It didn't matter, though. And man, if you were there and you were in that audience, you're amazing because so supportive of these people getting up on stage.
Yeah.
And we've never had an issue.
No.
It's amazing.
No, like nobody's getting booed off or anything like that. They're getting nothing but support. And I got to thank the band Musician Impossible. They were our backing band this year. First time we've used them. Ryan has done it before, but the other guy's not. And by the way, their drummer, I didn't get his name, but he had this awesome tattoo collage on his leg of all of the Rush album covers. It was insane.
Yeah.
But they were great. They were really fluid and ran with everything that we did on the side stage. And then Froggy got up on the side stage and killed it again.
They closed their set with a cover of Sabotage.
Yeah.
That was frigging awesome.
And they opened with the Preston and Steve song.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. So we got to thank Morgan and Fiona and Brooke. They were really excited, and they did it justice. They were excellent. And then I had this moment just to tell these little side things that happened throughout the day because we were there for a long stretch. It was when we first got there, and we get our credentials. We go into the backstage area, and there's you can go from the Walt Whitman side to the Ben Franklin side through the back area where the actual trucks load in. That's where all the equipment is: the drums, guitars, the amps, and all the stuff. The cases. It's really hectic. It's really crazy. There's roadies all over the place.
Yeah.
So we're walking through there, and I see the guys. I knew they were from Silvertide. We haven't seen them in years and years and years. And so I stopped and I talked, and I've forgotten who everybody is. And we got done with a quick chat, and then we continue on to the broadcast area. And Casey said something about Walt, the lead singer, and I go, "Oh, where is he?" He was like, "We were just talking to him, man."
Don't you hate that?
And I'm like, "Oh my God, that was him." And I've known him for years.
He had a big beard. The last time we'd seen him, he did not have facial hair.
Yeah.
And
I ran into a woman I didn't recognize, and she had a big beard, and I didn't realize. And you talked about this, and we've all talked about this. These things are classic events where we have that exact dynamic occur over and over again because you're there, you're meeting a lot of people, and people have changed the way they look, and then you feel like a jackass. And I know there's some people who I had conversations with that I knew, and they were saying, "Why didn't he act like he didn't know me?"
Right.
Because I'm a moron.
So I got to talk to Walt after their set, and actually a couple of different times I got to talk to him, and I was just so complimentary because it was just such a kinetic set, and so Walt has been kind of doing this like more of a folky thing lately, like singer-songwriter Arlo Guthrie thing. So what they put on Saturday is different than what he's been doing. And so I was like, "How's your muscle memory?" He's like, "Man, I was so nervous walking out there." He's like, "I couldn't believe it. I had never been nervous like that before."
Wow.
Yeah. And
from what I heard, you couldn't tell.
You couldn't tell at all. And it was just that set, unfortunately, was only a half hour long, because it was earlier in the day. But man, it was so good. I was telling him how happy I was watching him be so happy, and then looking at the crowd, and they were just loving it in the pit.
Yeah, he was jumping into the crowd. He was having a lot of fun. Casey, you and I get to chat with him for a little bit, and his daughter and his son. They were adorable. But he's a daddy now. But at one point when he was running around on stage, I think it might have been the last two songs, he had an awesome Phillies jersey on with MMRBQ. I think it was MMRBQ 24 was the number, and so he looked like $1 million. And yeah, they killed it. It was really cool to see them early and see their energy that early in the day.
Yep. And so we actually have a clip. Let me play a clip of Silvertide. This is Walt talking to the audience.
We are Silvertide from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We got a couple more songs for you. And then it's going to be more party and more music, more awesome, more WMMR.
That was cool.
And they did announce that they actually have a show coming up at the TLA. Oh, do you have the date here, Marissa? Yes. So they announced this actually on the stage. So Silvertide is doing a show, so you'll get more than a half hour that you saw out of them on Saturday, but they'll be at the TLA on December 20th, and tickets will be on sale soon.
Cool. That's awesome. Excellent. Let me see. What else did I want to highlight? I took a stroll up onto the lawn at one point.
You had an epiphany, didn't you?
I did. But before I had the epiphany, I met Julie Jerkoff, who was up on the lawn, and Heather from our YouTube community.
Yeah.
And
Julie Jerkoff.
Yes.
Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
They were excited and having a great time, so it was really great to meet them in person.
Yeah, when we were doing
Diehards.
the barbecues, when we would be in May, we had a lot of rain situations. The lawn not so good. The past couple ones have been primo for the lawn.
Yeah, so I don't go to shows that often anymore because of my issues with tinnitus, my hearing problem. So I have to wear earplugs, and while I can still go to shows, it's not as enjoyable because it's muffled sound.
Right,
it doesn't
right.
sound as great. So while I was up on the lawn, I walked all the way to the back. I took my earplugs out, and I found out that I can hear all the frequencies and not at a level that will be harmful to me. So yeah.
There you go. So what you do, whatever concert you go to, get the worst seats in the place.
That's all I got to do. Well, indoor, I still wouldn't be able to do.
Wouldn't be able to, right.
Even in the nosebleeds because
Right.
it's just too damn loud in there. But I can go to outdoor shows, hang in the back, and I don't need to be up front. I've been up front enough for shows, and because of this job, I've had that that luxury, that privilege, and so this is. It's a whole new thing for me.
It's a whole new world.
It's a whole new world.
Where Preston can hear the band on stage.
Yeah, I will definitely be a lawn guy now.
You're a lawn guy.
Yeah.
There you go. I love that.
Back of the lawn guy.
Yeah, I'll be way in the back. It was fine because with the screens and everything, you can still see it all.
Yeah,
you know?
How cool is it when you're on stage and you see that sea of people who are just having a great time?
Yeah.
And, at that portion of the evening, we quote unquote brought up Hailstorm. Excuse me, but the energy was just palpable.
Man, they were so good. Was amazed by Hailstorm.
It was really cool to see Pierre have an interview with Noodles, too. We got to be backstage for that. And Noodles and Dexter clearly appreciate the relationship with Pierre and with MMR. And it was a really cool conversation. And he shared some things that I didn't know. But Pierre was really prepared, as he always is, talking about the new record. And there's a song on the new record called Come to Brazil. And the reason that it's called that is because every time anything is ever posted on any of the Offspring's social media accounts, everybody in South America just says, come to Brazil, come to Brazil, come to Brazil.
Oh my gosh, really?
So they named a song after people commenting in the Instagram section.
Are they going there?
And they're going to go, Noodles was talking about how great the reception is anytime they ever play in South America. And so now, at some point in the next year or so, they're going to actually head to Brazil and maybe be able to play a show there.
We had a pretty cool moment with the Offspring because we were in between sets and we were kind of taking a break in the back area, and this area that we have for interviews and for our engineering department sits actually outside of the building, but it's where all of the buses and trucks come in to the back area, and we see a passenger like one of those smaller buses or larger vans, whatever you want to call it, shuttle. Pull up and I hear you guys going, and we're like, I think that's the Offspring. And I think Hailstorm was on at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And so they had, the next set was the Offspring, and I didn't know from you guys, Kathy and Nick, they're like, yeah, they just got here.
They flew in from Chicago.
Like they almost didn't make it.
They flew in from Chicago for the show on Saturday night, and the interview that they were scheduled to do with Pierre was supposed to happen at 7. That didn't happen until like after 7:30. And then, but they made it, and they they were able to get on.
Okay,
after
that explains why Pierre was panicking.
He was a little nervous
because I'm like, I don't know. And
Chuck
then
a
Noodles
little
walked
bit.
around.
Chuck a little too, because he was like, the headliner's not here yet.
Well, I was too. Once you guys told me that, I'm like, oh my God, they're cutting it this close.
Yeah.
But we saw Dexter and Noodles and all those guys come walking up, and they were like, hey guys, they're ready to go.
Yeah.
So
and then they killed it.
Yeah, man, it was. But that one was kind of close. But it was great. We have a couple of other questions?
Yeah. I want to hear Hailstorm.
All right, this is a Hailstorm mention. Here we go.
Thank you so much to Philadelphia. Thank you to Camden. Thank you to MMR for spinning our records for so long. Thank you so much to Pierre Robert, to everybody, from Preston, Steve. Thank you to Silvertide for being such an inspiration to us when we were all kids and growing up together. Thank you to David Ivory. I have Dawn, the nurse that was there for me when I was born, is here right in the audience. It's crazy. We love you. Cheers to rock and roll. Cheers to the MMRBQ to Camden, New Jersey. Here's to all of us. Cheers.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Great. Yeah. David Ivory was walking around. He was very cool.
Yeah.
Just a great guy.
David's awesome. He's a producer, if you don't know who he is, and he was instrumental in getting Hailstorm to where they are, and also Silvertide.
Yeah.
He was big. So that was a big reunion for him too. seeing those bands come together.
It was so cool to see also just different. Again, you were talking about the warning, the collection of younger. Young girl rockers who are right up front waiting to see it. And you, I think you put one on, Preston. One of these young ladies was like, "You're my inspiration for every," and then they were so touched by
the
this.
warning.
Yeah,
yeah. There was.
so
I walked
sweet.
over to a girl.
So
and
sweet.
There was a huge crowd that were out front for that interview, and she was so nervous and just I just kind of bum rushed her. I'm like, "You want to ask a question?"
Right.
And she was beside herself, but just loved the fact that they got a chance to see them face to face.
Did Caroline have fun?
Yeah.
Did she?
Yeah,
And she brought a friend as well. And
Yep.
that was really cool to see.
Yep. So dug all the music, left with a warning T-shirt, and buying some merch. So I thought that was pretty cool. You know what else was cool was watching the guitarist from POD hit on Marissa. That was kind of fun.
Oh, did that happen?
Yeah.
Oh, I was right there standing right next door for it. And he tried. No, he tried several
Oh,
times.
yeah.
Really?
You want to
But,
say anything about that?
Good for you for defending your honor.
I had some other things to say.
Oh.
That wasn't that. Offspring was amazing. I've seen Offspring so many times in my life, back from like festivals that you guys had them on. So like having them at these radio station concerts is just, pivotal in my life. But my two favorite moments of the day, besides you guys described all of the best musical moments. I opened up the backstage door for the first time, Preston. You mentioned that kind of radio station area we had for interviews and such. So I went back there for the first time and I opened up the door and I see Steve Lushbaugh, who was here for 30 some years. I mean, when I got here, he is just iconic. He was, the kind of the voice of the radio station. A lot of things that we would play, we still play. And I open up the door and I go, "No way!" And Pierre's in the middle of an interview with nothing more.
Oh, no. Are you serious?
Sitting at the top of
Could
my
you
lungs.
shut up?
Oh, my God.
That's hilarious.
But my second favorite moment of the day, Preston, I was there's a little room that has some accommodations for the day, has some snacks and some drinks, and so I went in there solo to refresh my
Oh, my
drink.
God. I forgot about this. All right, look, can I tell it from my perspective?
Please.
So and by the way, apologies to Jim Sutcliffe. I stole all his beer.
Oh no!
All of it.
You owe him some Pacificos.
Well, unfortunately, I endorse the product. I endorse the brand, so I can get him some Pacificos. But I took. There was I took them all. And I saw him later on, and I told him, and he's like, "No, don't worry about it, man. You guys are okay. It's all right. That's for you. Yeah, you guys are great. It's all right. It's okay." We love Jim. But anyway, so I walk into, there's a special office, and there's a code you need to get into it, and that's where the beer is. And so I was going to go grab another one, and I open the door, and I walk in, and Marissa's in there, okay?
Is this right before you go onto the stage? Correct. The doors to the left?
Yeah.
Okay. all right.
So I go in, and Marissa's in there, and I was like, "Oh, wow. And, did I startle you or anything like that?" And she's like, "No." She goes, "Actually, I couldn't get out."
You were stuck in there?
Oh, my God.
For how long?
I actually have it timed perfectly because Point Break was on TV. I was stuck in there for the entire football scene on the beach.
Oh, my God. That's so funny.
Wow.
And she's like, I was about to call someone to see if they could come and get me.
So what is the mechanism?
A waste of time.
There are just a few doors in that complex where you just got to pull really hard. It's like our studio door here.
Yeah.
You just
People
got to
think they're locked
yank.
in.
And Marissa thought she was stuck in there.
Oh, that's funny.
And I just walk up and I grab it and I just yank it open.
That's funny.
And it was...
That's hilarious.
I literally had my text open because the office, like the business office is nearby. I was going to text our friend Jen Cursilli, who I knew was there, like getting all the admin stuff for the day. Just be like, "Hey, do you mind coming in, Jim?" And then, Preston, I knew you were close, so I was about to text you and be like, "Hey, are you like anywhere nearby this place?"
Can you let me out? Yeah.
I was so embarrassed. So embarrassed.
It was funny. It was great. I loved it. And then another little side note to little gem like Marissa getting stuck in that room was in the hallway backstage. There's two public bathrooms, men and women, and the men's bathroom has, the silhouette of a male figure.
Yes.
And says men underneath it. Well, someone had 3D printed a tiny penis and stuck it on the man's groin. I laughed at that all night long.
It was
I took
pretty
some
good.
pictures of it.
Yeah.
It was absolutely wonderful. And if you zoom all the way in on the penis, there's like veins and it's
lovingly
circumcised
recreated.
and, yeah.
Wow.
I thought it was like clay. It's not. It was a
No,
3D
I think
print.
it was 3D printed.
That's really funny.
But it was, it kind of made my night.
And can I give a special shout out? I was reminded again this year that back there, the catering, the coffee is superb, and the banana bread is
my
so
God.
goddamn good.
yes.
Oh, that banana bread was so good.
I had the pumpkin pie. I didn't try the banana bread. I thought about it.
Somebody left theirs. It was wrapped in.
I saw that.
And I was like, oh, and I was like sitting there waiting for Nick, and I was like, oh, I think I'm going to eat it. By the way,
You did? You ate something even though it was wrapped, but I'm surprised.
No, it was wrapped in
I know,
plastic.
but I'm surprised that somebody's dirty hands could have touched the plastic.
No, it was secured. It was wrapped.
Was it on that ledge in the backstage area?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was mine.
Oh, I ate it. That's all right. That was your.
For one, somebody else ate Nick's food instead of the other way around.
Hansel and Greteling it back to the backstage.
It was your fee for your ride home.
Yeah, it was safe.
So let me tell you the story about Nick and I going home.
Okay.
I had to drive him. We left, and we had to go over the Ben Franklin Bridge to get back into Philadelphia. Now, I don't know if you remember. I'm pretty sure this was Chuck. We've talked about this before, but I swear Chuck told me that if you go through those bridges, the arm that comes down up and down to let you through once you pay, it will never it'll never hit your car. Like if you're going through, it'll bounce back up. Like, and if it's coming down, you think, oh, it's going to hit. He's like, nope, it will bounce back up. I swear it was Chuck. It was somebody that told me this, right?
Yeah, we heard
we
it
all heard it.
Right.
So whoever told it, we all heard it.
All right. Well, Nick and I know that is not true. Okay. So don't think that it will bounce back up because it won't. I drove through apparently what was a cash only lane. I swear it was not a cash only lane because I saw the cash only sign. It was lit up in white, and then the others have the Easy Pass. I swear I wasn't in it, but clearly I was.
Real quick, getting out of Camden can be kind of tricky too. Like there's a bunch of different ways to get to either of the bridges, right? And then once you get to the Ben Franklin Bridge, which is the one that we ended up taking back into Philadelphia, it is a little confusing as to how you get on there and then which lane you're supposed to get in. So I think it was a mistake that anybody could have made.
Well, let me add on to this just quickly to what you just said. I have the Easy Pass. I somehow ended up in a cash lane.
See, I think the lights were wrong.
I think something was wrong because I'm sitting there and I'm like, what? Why is it so slow?
Okay. See, I think the lights were wrong on that. I think they had the wrong light
because I was pissed.
Well, and also Nick and I were like chatting, so I don't know, whatever. I drive through and I'm thinking in my head exactly what this person, maybe it was Chuck, told me. I'm like, it'll bounce up. And I'm driving. And, sometimes you go at a nice speed through there. I mean, I know the speed limit is 15 but some people go a little. So I'm like, it's not going up. So I'm slowing down. Obviously, I'm not going to crash into it. But so now I'm up against it and I'm bumping it, thinking that it's going to pop up.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like,
we're
Nick.
inching forward. And Kathy's like, Nick! What is happening? What is happening, Nick?
And was there a car behind you at the
Grabs
time?
my arm and she has to slam on the brakes. And then we're both laughing but also confused as hell. And we don't know why the thing's not going back up. And so she's like kind of laughing / panicking. I can't stop laughing at her panic. and out of the corner of my eye, I see one of the toll booth attendants comes running up to the car. So Kathy has to put the window down and the guy's like, don't go forward anymore. Don't back up either.
Well, he goes, don't reverse. I was like, oh, don't reverse. And then my car was still in drive, so it inched forward a little bit. He goes, and definitely don't do that.
So how did they rectify this?
Well, he's like, you're in cash only. I was like, we are? I'm like, I don't think we were. He's like, yeah, you're in cash only. Well, of course, I had no cash on me. So Nick's like rummaging through his backpack looking for cash. We had to pay $6 in cash because he wouldn't let me reverse.
I had drink tickets left over from MMRBQ. Okay. I was like, do you take drink tickets? Because I couldn't find any cash.
Here's my deal. And I know you would have to take it on good faith that your Easy Pass was active or that your transponder was active.
Well, Steve,
but I had a brand new transponder on my windshield. So I'm like,
well, that was Kathy's initial reaction. She's like, can I just hand you the Easy Pass transponder to get us through that way?
Right. So this happened to you on Saturday too, Steve?
Yes, I ended up in the cash lane. And I'm like, I thought for sure I was going to an Easy Pass.
Yeah. See, I think the light. If we both did it, what are the chances? I think the lights
I don't
were
think
wrong.
the odds are. I think the odds are in their favor.
All right, Marissa.
One more moment I wanted to. Well, first off, I just want to say hi to the Jersey Calling guys, the Local Shots band. They
Really
were so
cool.
sweet, and they were hanging out all day long. They were backstage for all of the bands. They were so excited to be there. But Pierre was kind enough at the end of the Noodles interview. I totally forgot about this until right now. That he mentioned to Pierre that Pierre had mentioned in Noodles that I got married at the Punk Rock Museum. And I don't know if I told you guys, Offspring is like all over the Punk Rock Museum. Like huge murals, and Noodles' first like glasses are in there. Dexter's amp is in there. Really cool stuff. And so I was kind of telling him the moment.
He can't see without his glasses.
His glasses are thick too.
Yes,
Have you
they
ever seen
are.
those Noodle glasses? So I'm telling him about the moment that Matt and I had gone in the day after our wedding, and we go into like the 90s room, and there's this huge Offspring mural, and then there's this secondary huge Operation Ivy mural, and it's like Tim Armstrong, and then a foot and a half away from Tim Armstrong is a young Billy Joe Armstrong from now Green Day singing the songs to it. And Noodles goes, "Oh, I was at that show too." And so it's just this cool little like rock and roll moment that I was like, he was just at the Gelman Street, but isn't he like 20 years older than all those guys? So he was probably
well, that's cool
cleaning
though,
the
man.
floors. It was just a really cool
They lived the
moment.
real deal.
I wanted to mention this too because Marissa talked about walking in during the Nothing More interview and making noise while Pierre was doing it. That was the band that I went up onto the lawn for to watch. And I really don't know much about Nothing More. They were freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with that. So all the way up, all day long, that entire lineup from beginning to end was just solid, man.
As always, I just caught fleeting glimpses of various bands. We were able to hear a lot of what was going on from our vantage point at the side stage. And by the way, the wildest moment, Preston, you brought up, there was one woman who came up who's like, rocking the rock look and the whole thing. And she goes to us, she goes, "I just became a grandmother." And I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
"What?"
On the side stage. Yeah, I think her name was Jen. That was great.
She was a nurse.
Was she?
That was her profession, yeah.
Okay.
And she's like, it's because she had to pee.
Yeah.
So before her performance, she's like, but I'm used to it. I'm a nurse. I can handle it.
That's Nancy.
Was she the grandmother? She had just,
I think that
She had
was
just become a grandmother as well,
Nancy?
Yeah, I think it was Nancy.
All right, I want to play a couple more clips. Here is one from we have a couple from the Offspring, so here we go.
I heard there was 100 million people here today. I read it on the internet, so don't even question me. I choose to believe it. 100 million people, world record MMRBQ.
Oh, my God. That's excellent. And then they took a moment to thank us.
So I'm going to say thank you, Camden, thank you, Philly, and thank you, MMR.
That's excellent. We have a clip of Pierre making his stage announcement right before the Offspring went on as well.
We've had such fun today, but more importantly, have you had fun? Every year we try to get the best bands we can and keep the price as low as we can, and we did it again this year. It's really a lot of work, but our great program director, Chuck D'Amico, works his ass off along with our friends from Live Nation. We really want to thank you. As you probably know, MMR's been on the air for 56 years. That's amazing. If you were to drive across the country, you'd find very few radio stations left alive and well. There's satellite, but it's all taped. It's not live. It's not local. You could download any song you want. But when you tune in to 93.3, you still get human beings. And although we're not perfect, we really try to give you the best every single day. But even more importantly, none of it could happen were you not along for the ride. None of it would be possible were it not for the friendship and support. You are like family. We are blessed that we get to spend the day with you, that you let us into your space. So from Preston and Steve and myself and Brent Porsche and Jackie Bam Bam and our wonderful weekend warriors, we thank you for being part of our family of friends.
Wow.
Yeah. Well done, Pierre.
Very well said. Man.
And then he
man.
gave double birds.
Yeah. Suck it. And did a chop thing.
Suck it!
Typical Pierre.
Yeah, no. Just going off again.
There's many layers to me.
But I posted, I think that is possibly the most fun that I've had at an MMRBQ. They kept us a little more busy.
They really did.
And I love that.
Yes.
And we got out and we had a chance to interact with people more often. I'd like to, by the way, I did.
You have to apologize for anything?
No, I'm not apologizing, but I want to send out my my heartfelt feelings for the girl that I saw vomiting for 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
It just would.
Man.
I know. I felt
Was it
bad.
Marissa after she's being hit on?
It wasn't Marissa. No, there was over by the picnic tables by the side stage.
Ooh,
There was a gal who was just, her boyfriend was patting her back the whole time.
And
I
I
was
good
like,
boyfriend.
man.
Yeah, I saw the after effects of that because you told me about it.
It was
and then-
kind of pink and yellow. It was really weird.
No, I saw her as they were carrying her away, and I didn't know what was going on, but she was like spitting. She was like, and I was like, I think she just got done throwing up. So then I kept my eyes out so I didn't step in it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You had a funny story. Go ahead. You finish yours.
Hopefully not too many people overdid it.
Yeah.
In case you saw somebody.
Oh, man.
I was going to bring that up. Did you see Casey spring into action and save a life?
No.
Yeah.
The lady that face planted?
Yeah, dude. I was talking to this guy, and just the nicest gentleman. He's like from Detroit. He's been here for like 10 years. Huge fan. And I'm talking to him, and it just over his right shoulder, I just see this woman go down like a ton of bricks. Like, without warning, right? I just see her go face plant down to the ground, and I just assumed that like she passed out.
Yeah.
I didn't know what happened. So
It was on the grass.
and it was on the grass right next to the side stage. So I mean, I just sprung into action. So the worst part is that I knocked this dude's beer out of his hand, all over the ground.
Oh, no.
I had to do that.
It was.
I needed to do that to save this woman.
It almost looked like it was intentional. Like, I gotta go. Get that out of my face.
Stop drinking.
And
But we saw the fall. So, like, the way she fell was, I could see why he thought, like, something's really wrong.
Yeah, so I run over. I mean, I like sprinted over, and just as I get to her, I trip on something, and I come to find out that she didn't actually pass out, that she tripped over this pole that was sticking out of the ground.
The exact thing you
That
did.
he
The exact same thing that I stumbled on.
It's
Luckily,
like cars going over the same pothole.
Dude,
Like, it looked like the base of, like, maybe where an umbrella would have to go.
Oh,
yeah.
I saw that thing. It was silver. It was like a chair
Yeah.
base.
No,
right?
that's what they put over it.
Oh, they
because
put that-
they put that over. It was just
I
a
saw-
little like a wrought iron pole.
Okay.
I tried to pull it out of the ground. I couldn't get it. Well, first I was like, is this a live wire? I didn't know what it was because it was like that thick.
If you had it pulled out, you would have ruled Camelot at
yeah.
that point.
So, and so I couldn't get that out of the ground. So I was like, we need to get something to put over this because somebody's going to trip over it again. And she's lucky that she didn't fall on top of it.
Yeah.
And she could have
But she was very sweet about it. We were talking about it to her about it later, and she goes, "Did you like my sort of Superman move at the end?" Which was kind of cool.
So it comes to find out that she didn't pass out, that she was totally fine. And then I went back and I bought that guy a new beer.
Oh, well, that was nice.
I was like, man, I have $20 later.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of food, drink and food, Steve Wilson's Secret Sauce for supplying all the goodies at. We had a VIP area that people could buy into, and they were serving them food back there.
At the end of the evening, I went over there just to say hi and, thanks for everything. And so I hadn't eaten all day, and he has salmon, like a whole thing of salmon there. And he goes, "Do you want this?" I go, "Yeah, I'll take that." And then I'm thinking, I'm going to drive home with this tray of salmon.
Right.
What if I hit anything?
Yes. Right.
I'd curse myself. I said, I had because his food is so incredible and they were so generous, but I'm like, no, I thought better of it.
You know, I didn't realize it until I was there, and I've been to a few shows in Camden this summer, but Casey and I were chatting. It was the 30th summer of shows at that building. Now it's the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. It's had many, many names over the years. Yeah. I didn't realize it had been around for 30 seasons.
Yeah. I think, so the dynamic, I think that works. So we would be opening up the concert season. I think this is a great way, and honestly, you just, the lawn portion, the pavilion stays active, as we well know, but God almighty, just a conga line of gorgeous days.
It was a little warm when we started, Steve, but when the sun started to go down and the breeze kicked up, it was so nice out there.
Most definitely. Thank you to everybody who made it what it was. The MMRBQ was a huge, huge success this year. WMMR.com. Follow our socials as well. We're going to continue to post pictures and videos and moments from that as well because it's worth sharing, and we hope that you'll come join us next year if you didn't make it this year because it's tradition. We love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, we got to take a break because we got good money in 10 minutes. We got to stay on time for that. We'll have your chance of winning $1,000 when we get back, so hang out for a sec.
Preston and Steve.
Maud Adams is 75 today. Happy birthday to Octopussy. A little light listening this morning on the Preston and Steve show.
That's actually the new theme to 60 Minutes.
With Disturbed and I just hear, no longer be your whore. All righty then. Mike Schmidt, Hall of Famer, baseball player, and just a god in this town, was in our studio one time, and the song that we were playing was, as we were getting ready to introduce him, was Godsmack, the song Crying Like a Bitch. And it's just like, crying like a bitch! Just screaming, and I look over at Mike Schmidt, who's just sitting there with his headphones on.
Where the hell am I?
And now we're playing Disturbed with this screaming, and I look over at Terry Crews is sitting right there with his headphones on, just pretending like he's having a good time.
No, I really liked it. No longer be your whore. Yeah, now I was getting into it, man.
Let's welcome Terry Crews. How you doing,
I was into it. I'm ready to do another workout.
Did you already get one in this morning?
Got one in.
Of course.
Wow, man.
Of course.
Yeah,
I love it.
Terry, we were laughing this morning because you posted a picture of you on your Twitter page, Preston and I, and someone had said that you resembled a chewed up Tootsie Roll.
Yes.
And you posted the picture, and it was just hilarious.
Well, they said now that they put it down that they couldn't unsee it. And then what was weird is I couldn't unsee it either. I was like, all right, that looks just like me. A chewed up Tootsie Roll. I'm trying to tell you.
It looks like, if you haven't seen the picture yet, it looks like if you were in the Star Wars movie where they froze Han Solo. Carbonite. If you were to freeze Terry Crews in carbonite.
Oh my God.
So we were thinking it's safe to say you are in the pantheon of favorite guests we've ever had on the show. Constantly referred to. And the career just keeps going along. Obviously, your AGT now is a big thing.
Yes.
I'll be honest, I was never that much into the AGT thing, but your zeal, your excitement for it is so infectious. And now we've known people like John Dorenbos and other people who've gone through the system. And it is, you will see some wild stuff on that show. So through you curated it, and I'm like, okay, I'll jump back in and check it out. So I watch it. What draws you to that show? What do you? Because you are clearly exhilarated by it.
This is the thing. First of all, when you look at what entertainment is, the 18 to 35-year-olds have gotten too much clout. I'll be honest with you. You're like, okay, man, there's a big world.
Yeah.
And, the 18 to 35, that's it. They determine what's hot, what's not. And you're like, no, not at all. If you had a family, you understand that your kids, the ones under 18 are the ones that's determining everything. And then the ones over 35 are the ones that's paying for everything. So I said, I have to serve all of them. And that is what I was determined to do. I started hosting a few years back when I was hosting Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. This is the deal too, because it really, really satisfies me, because I do not, when I perform now on movies and TV, I have no audience. There's nothing. And I need the adrenaline that comes from when I was in the NFL. It's really replaced by AGT. The crowd noise, the energy, the fact that anything can happen. When it's live, man.
You get to go live.
No, it's live. Look, I get the keys to NBC for 2 hours. And they're like, look, bring it back in one piece. Don't break it. Don't dent it. And watch out when you're backing up with it. You know what I mean? And basically, you got to bring it back in the same condition or better. And it's so, you realize anything can go wrong, and I love it.
So the other night, something went wrong with the guy with the crossbows and the levers, and so I found myself on the edge of the seat watching this mistake, these flaws, because not everybody that comes on AGT does it perfectly.
No, they don't.
So for people who aren't watching, what happened?
Oh my God! Well, I mean, the guy thought he had set his trap, he set his arrows right, and the whole thing, and he realized he was nervous,
and he's strapped in.
Yes. Yeah. He was nervous, and he didn't do it right. Dude, but this was so wild, man. You start to realize, and my thing is always talking to the acts and trying to talk them through so that they can be relaxed.
Right.
Because the deal is...
Easier said than done, though, right?
It is, because everyone make you nervous. I had one guy, I'm going to tell something right now. This is crazy. I was doing this movie, Blended. with Adam Sandler down in South Africa.
You were great as the singer and calypso guy.
It was awesome. But see, one person can mess up your whole world.
Right.
I remember I was about to do the scene, the whole thing, and we only had a few minutes to do the scene where we were losing light and the whole thing. And this director of photography, I don't want to mention his name, but he walked up to me and he said, "Don't F up." Now, when you said, I'm going, huh? Now, that's the worst thing you can say to anyone. But thank God I knew to counteract that. And I said, don't take it. Don't take it. In fact, use it as fuel.
Right.
In fact, focus. Get inside. Come inside more. And I jammed and the whole thing. And I did we did the thing with the choir. And we were singing and doing the whole thing. And I looked at him. He was like, that was pretty amazing. And I was literally like, F you. Believe me, I could not believe he would have the nerve to do that. So I realized what I wanted to do for all these acts is be the anti-that. Come and tell him, you got this, man. You can do it. It's okay. But he just got so nervous.
He didn't turn the safeties off.
He didn't turn the safeties off. And you got real people, and he's standing there in front of it. And then you got Alicia. She's wondering whether should I press the button or not. She could have killed somebody.
Yeah.
Well,
it's really nuts.
The acts are like that. There have been some injuries, but that's the real deal. What sort of blows my mind is what they're using the theater. There was a dance act that was using projection or something like virtual dance, and I mean it was
Freckled Sky, yeah,
right. It was as theatrical and Broadway level that I've ever seen. How much time did they get? Because that had to be live. How much time do you get to set something like that up?
Oh my God! First of all, the crew on America's Got Talent has been underrated and not appreciated enough. This is literally like putting on the Oscars every week. It's the biggest live show on television, period. And it's the biggest talent show in the world.
Well,
so they're the best in the business, man. And any mistake, it could all go wrong. They do it so good. People, it's like people think that it's just it's a given or whatever. But man, when you watch this crew and as well as they do it, you talk about roadies and all this stuff.
It's not like
one of the best things in the world.
One act that's on for 2 hours. Because this guy, I don't know to explain it, Preston. The dancers at one point look like they're marionettes.
Yes.
Faux strings coming down, and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, precision stuff.
Well, I feel like a circus master.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what I love, because I come from also the days of the variety show.
Right.
Listen, Carol Burnett was one of my favorite shows of all time. And I miss that, man. I wanted to bring that back. And I'm not a comedian, but at the same time, this energy, this love, I want to be this guy. And it's to get this opportunity. It's the biggest thing in the world for me.
I think for the entertainers and like for John Dornbos has told us what the whole experience was like and the whole deal. And obviously there's the background story which plays into it and the emotion and all that stuff. So for some reason it works. It's the oldest Ted Mack's Amateur Hour that goes back for decades.
Ed Sullivan.
Yeah, Ed Sullivan. Where these people come out and spin dishes and all that stuff. What we're talking about, like the act with the arrows and all that stuff. What was the one act you thought, okay, this guy's going to die?
Yeah.
What was the one where you thought this guy's coming out in a body bag?
Oh, there are several. I'm trying to say which one. Some of these that are coming up. There was a guy who was in a water tank. And I thought, he was
like the Houdini thing?
It's just like he did a Houdini-ish deal, man. And I said, man, and then it didn't look like things were happening right. You could tell when his assistants start running. You're like, oh man. First of all, you don't want anything to go wrong because it ruins. It could, you don't want to watch anybody die on live TV. You just don't want to do it.
Would you want to be a judge? Do you think you could do it?
No, I don't. The judging thing is super, super hard.
And I think so, especially with the appeal of AGT is the variety of acts you're going to get. You got dance, you got magic, comedians, song.
Good money at Keyword.
Keyword is money. Well, that's an easy one, MONEY, and you have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter that. 3 ways for you to do it. You can enter it at WMMR.com. You can use the MMR app, or you can text it to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest, and each winner gets a call from Beasley, so make sure you answer your phone. Contest rules available at WMMR.com. Sponsored by Horizon Services, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Again, the word is money, M-O-N-E-Y. Enter that right now. We're going to take a look at traffic. See what's happening this morning. Kathy, what you got for us?
We've got jam traffic on 295 southbound at 73. That's that overturned truck in the right lane. Northbound jams at 130 to the 42 freeway. 42 north, heavy Blackwood Clementon Road to 295. 55 northbound jams from Deptford to the 42 freeway. On the 30 bypass eastbound, your jam Reesville Road to Lancaster Avenue. That's an accident off to the shoulder. Pennsylvania Turnpike westbound. Jams Virginia Drive to Fort Washington. 422 eastbound, slowing Oaks to First Avenue. On the Blue Road northbound, your jam 95 to the Media bypass. Southbound side slows from the Mid-County tolls to the Schuylkill, and then from the Media bypass to Baltimore Pike. 95 southbound jams Cotman into the Betsy Ross Bridge. Girard to the Vine. The Blue Road to the Commodore Barry Bridge, and then on the northbound side, Highland Avenue to Curlin Street. Schuylkill eastbound slows 202 into Belmont. You're then slow from the Boulevard to the Vine, westbound, Bear Avenue to South Street, City to Belmont, the Blue Road to Gulf Mills. This traffic report brought to you by BQ Basements and Concrete, now Groundworks, your expert for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Delco Trim Light. You can visit DelcoTrimLight.com, schedule an estimate on installation of the coolest permanent programmable holiday lighting system around. All right, this is a wild story, man, but Luis Armando Albino was 6 years old in 1951 when he was abducted while playing at an Oakland, California park, and now more than 7 decades later, Albino has been found thanks to help from an online ancestry test, old photos, and newspaper clippings.
It's amazing.
Albino's niece in Oakland, with assistance from police, the FBI, and the Justice Department, located her uncle living on the East Coast. Albino, a father and a grandfather, is a retired firefighter, a Marine Corps veteran. He served in Vietnam. This is according to his 63-year-old niece, Alida Alaquin. She found Albino and reunited him with his California family in June.
Is he related to Kathy as well?
Probably.
No, you know what, though? I read that this story made me so sad.
Yeah, in 1951, a woman lured the 6-year-old Albino from this West Oakland Park area where he had been playing with his older brother and promised the Puerto Rican-born boy in Spanish that she would buy him candy. Instead, the woman kidnapped him, flying him to the East Coast, where he ended up with a couple who raised him as if that was their own son.
Your mind floods with all sorts of questions and alternative lives and what might have been and would it have been worse or who knows.
Well, and his mother searched for him her entire life.
Yeah, of course. She died in 2005, but never gave up hope that he was still out there. But the families did not say where on the East Coast he lives now. His mother died, like I said, in 2005. Oakland police acknowledged that Alquin's efforts, his niece, played an integral role in finding her uncle, and that the outcome of the story is what they strive for. In an interview, she said her uncle hugged me and said, "Thank you for finding me," and gave me a kiss on the cheek. Oakland Tribune articles from the time reported police, soldiers from a local Army base, the Coast Guard, and other city employees joined in a massive search for the boy. San Francisco Bay and other waterways were also searched. His brother, Roger Albino, was interrogated several times by investigators, but stood by his story about a woman with a bandana around her head taking his brother. The first notion that her uncle might still be alive came in 2020 when, just for fun, she took an online DNA test, and it showed a 22% match with a man who eventually turned out to be her uncle. A further search at the time yielded no answers or any response from him. And then in 2024, she and her daughters began searching again. They went to the public library. They checked out microfilm, and they found articles. One had a picture of Luis and Roger, which convinced her that she was on the right track. She went to Oakland police the same day. Investigators eventually agreed to the new lead, that it was substantial, and a new missing persons case was open. Last week, they said the missing persons case is closed, but they and the FBI are consider the kidnapping a still ongoing investigation.
Yeah, of course.
Yep. So they met up with him, took a DNA test, and it was confirmed.
One question, though. Did he ever get his candy?
I don't know if he got the candy or not. Algwin said her uncle did not want to talk to the media. She said, "I was always determined to find him, and who knows With my story out there, it could help other families going through the same thing. She said, I would say don't give up hope.
I was thinking about that too, like him not wanting to talk to the media, like what he went through. I mean, 6 years old, he may have remembered that.
And he also went through life with these people that raised him, who I'm sure he felt were his family.
Yeah.
And probably doesn't have any.
And it seems like he was
grudge against them.
a productive life.
I don't know, so it's confusing. All right, this is wild. This is in Wyomissing. Pennsylvania Attorney General Michelle Henry found charges against the founder, an operator of a Berks County-based nonprofit organization for men with substance abuse issues. Wait till you hear what this guy and his people were doing. On Thursday, authorities charged Kevin Kolb of Wyomissing-based Sick Recovery with numerous offenses, including involuntary servitude, false imprisonment, theft by unlawful taking, tax evasion, insurance fraud, and related offenses.
So slavery.
Kolb allegedly recruited participants for the live-in program at Sick Recovery under the guise of offering treatment and healthy recovery alternatives for those with substance abuse issues. And according to the investigation, participants had to turn over their personal belongings, including identification, money, and cell phones, and were not permitted to have any contact with their families. In addition, investigators say they also worked construction jobs with no compensation and were not provided any reasonable means to voluntarily exit the program.
See,
They're putting them to work.
It's ingenious in its deviousness because there are programs that employ similar things to some level that are legitimate.
So this guy's wife,
they're not just looking for cheap labor.
Krista, is charged with unsworn falsification authorities, tampering with public records, construction workplace misclassification, and insurance fraud. And Kevin's brother, Scott, is charged with construction workplace misclassification. Authorities say Kolb marketed Sick Recovery and a few other places as recovery home program with vocational training options and a special interest focus on motocross racing. Just threw that in there.
Sure.
According to the investigation, there was no formal vocational training, but participants worked extensive, difficult labor at work sites without compensation. While Kevin Kolb contracted for work under the name Soul Constructors, they also worked as a subcontractor for Service 360, a construction company owned by him. And throughout, Kevin Kolb operating Soul Recovery as a for-profit construction business, the program maintained nonprofit status. So he was just raking in the money.
Did he do anything for the insane gambler, Preston?
The investigation revealed that Kolb allegedly used funds received from donations, grants, and construction payments for personal expenses.
Wow.
Lacking any reasonable means to exit the program, investigators say many participants had to leave secretly in the middle of the night. This guy's scheduled to appear in court on November 6th. I thought that was pretty wild.
They got to throw the book at that dude.
All right, and then another story, and this is probably all we have time for in this one. Scandinavian Airlines has said one of its flights had to make an emergency landing after a mouse scurried out of a passenger's in-flight meal on Wednesday.
Out of a meal?
Yeah. The aircraft was flying from Norway's capital, Oslo, to Malaga in Spain and was forced to make an emergency landing in Copenhagen, Denmark. Now,
We hope you're enjoying your mice.
the diversion was in line with company procedures as the furry stowaway posed a safety risk. So they like landed the plane immediately.
Protocol dictates that if there's a mouse on board, they have to turn around.
Yes, they have strict restrictions involving rodents on board planes in order to prevent electrical wire being chewed through.
I guess, yes. All right, now I see it. Yeah.
So they see that as a legit threat to the flight. Jarl Boredstad experienced the incident firsthand.
There was a mouse on the plane.
And said that the mouse escaped from the box of food that the woman sat next to him on the flight was opening. Mr. Borstad said the situation was very calm and that people were not stressed at all. However, he admitted that he did put his socks over his trousers so the mouse did not crawl up his legs.
I can assure you I have not chewed through any wires.
Mr. Borstad said that while the flight was diverted and only added a few extra hours to the journey, it is the second rodent-related travel incident in a week because a train service in southern England had to be terminated mid-journey after 2 squirrels boarded a carriage and one refused to get
Yes,
on.
we're on vacation.
Yes.
Is that the same? I assume is that a universal thing where would domestically, if a mouse was discovered on a flight, would they turn the flight around?
It probably is. I think they said it was an airline issue, or protocol. But I would imagine, it'd be standard procedure because you don't want the plane going down.
What was that Stephen King? The Langoliers? Was that
Yes.
it? Yes.
Yeah.
and they would eat everything.
Yeah, well, they ate like existence. They ate like not just the airplane. So, all right, and there you go. That is what I have in the bizarre file for you. It is 8. It's almost 8:11. So you got it roughly 4 minutes left to enter the word money. That is our keyword for Good Money It. So enter the word money. You can text it over. You can do it through the app or through WMMR.com. And we have $1,000 to give away. Ladies and gentlemen, after this commercial break, we get what you've wanted. Fall activities. We are going to be revealing Kathy's list when we get back. So get yourself ready. Get your little notepad all set. Of course, this information will be available later on, but you don't want to miss out. And you do want to be here because many, many, many times over the years, when Kathy mentions something, if it's limited tickets, it sells out immediately.
Before the end of the segment.
So make sure that you're with us. We'll be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve.
Different, but how do you compare those things as far as talent goes? I'd have a really hard time.
And I think some of the judges have harder times. I think Simon and Howie are probably the most well-rounded judges. I've seen Heidi not get jokes, and because she doesn't get a joke, she gets offended by it. It's
right.
Like, it's hard.
But let me tell you one thing. I got to tell you this. The reason we have judges is because America wants blood. I'm just telling you. First of all, how can you compare a singer to a dancer to a danger act?
Well, we know.
How can you do that?
The end result is, and this is the way I've always framed it. To me, you're looking for somebody who would be a successful Las Vegas act.
Right.
And that's the context,
that's
correct?
The context.
Right.
But at the same time, this stuff is subjective.
Right.
Yeah. What show do you see in Vegas? It's the show you want to see.
Right, yeah.
So, if you want to see singers, you love singers. If you want to go to a dance show, you go to a dance show. So the deal is that America wants someone to lose.
Yeah.
America wants you bleeding. And they don't care if you're under 10. And listen, first of all, I love it. I love America. But it's the sports mentality.
No.
It literally is someone has to go home and that makes you tune in. But if they were like, there's really no competition, it's all exhibition, they'd be like, nobody dying here. I'm not going to watch this.
Could you imagine your life without the foundation that you had in sports and all that's trained you for? I mean, it seems to provided you with a Swiss Army knife of capabilities that's gotten you through. I remember when I first saw you, I thought, and I have to be honest, who is this meathead? Who's this guy? Who's this guy? And then I go, why is this meathead so funny? And then I'm like, why is this guy? Why is this guy? And then I realized this guy's talented. But you said you weren't funny, you weren't a comedian or so on and so forth. It seems to me you okay, this is something I got to take on and tackle and work through. Sports had to be just an absolute essential part of what made you you.
Yeah, first of all, it was.
Yeah.
Simply because in the locker room, it's like all versions of humanity.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. I was funnier in the locker room than I ever was on these shows. We had so much fun hanging in the locker room and just balling and hanging and talking and really doing our thing. And the sport itself, however, a lot of that drama came with baggage.
Right.
You know what I mean? And my thing is, sports is good until it isn't.
Yeah.
It's literally one of those things where first of all, I love sports, I love entertainment, but I love people more. And when you use people in expense of the sport, like right now the NFL is going through a thing where all the older guys are going through it. And they're not helping them. There's so many guys that need help, man, mentally, physically. The NFL will literally deny that they cause these issues. You know what I mean? And that's my thing is just admit it, man, and let's just help them.
Right.
But my deal is, it's one of those things where I had to get rid of a lot of things that was bad and keep the good.
Yeah.
And sports can be very, very good, but if it's used in the wrong way, man, you will end up miserable.
I believe it. One of the things, speaking of being talented, that we really weren't aware of was your artistic ability, and it was one of the before even sports, right? I mean, you were you sketch and painting, and were you a court sketch artist?
Sketch artist, yes.
Get out of here!
I had an art scholarship before I had a football scholarship.
Wow! I was looking at some of your stuff. It's really good.
Oh.
And why is it that court sketch room artists are usually so terrible?
Yes, they are. It's a lot of it. You have to be fast.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to understand too. For me, I would have went the whole art route. But no one was going to pay for that. Like, starving artists is a real thing. Starving goes right before artists. I mean, name an artist who actually got paid while he was alive.
Yeah.
It's very, very rare.
Right, they're celebrated after they found
Oh, yeah, you've been dead 30 years. They're like, oh, now he gets the million.
Do you create every day?
Yeah.
Still, do you?
I sketch all the time.
Okay.
Sketch all the time.
What do you prefer? What is your favorite?
People. I love sketching faces.
Okay.
Faces.
But sketching
people.
over painting and all that?
Oh, yeah. I just sketch because I have time for it, but I'll take it all the way. I mean, I will go do a full painting if I have time to do that. But when I was get cut from an NFL team, I would go back in the locker room and ask the players if they want their portraits painted. That's what I would do. And that's how I survived.
Wow.
They would be like, man, you pretty good, man. $5,000. But you know what? I would
Were you self-taught?
No, I'm self-taught.
Wow.
But I would literally trick the guys. I'd be like, man, you need a painting. Look at you. You one of the most amazing players ever. Look at you walking around here all muscular and beautiful. Let me immortalize you. Yeah, you're right, man. Here's $5,000. I was like, thank you.
You're a lefty.
Marketing.
You're a lefty, too.
Oh, yeah. Left-handed, right-brained. I mean, very creative. It's just, it's my thing, man. It's always been my thing. Yeah, I taught.
Your stuff's really.
I taught a class at Facebook. That was a photo from when I taught a class at Facebook. And you know what was wild? Some of the most talented people in the world. And they were sitting there, and these guys had degrees from everywhere. And I asked them to start drawing, and they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you know what's happening? What's happening is you're judging your work immediately. And what you got to know is all judgment stops creativity in its tracks. You have to just go.
Right.
And you have to do it. And you have to not care what people think. You have to not. But what happened was they were like, they wouldn't, before they started putting a pen down on the paper, they would look over at the other guy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But this is what we do in life.
Yeah, you're right.
This is the mistake we make all the time. The stuff you always wanted to do. All that things you wanted to go for. You're over there looking at everybody else. Well, I'm not going to try it. What will everybody say? You know what? I don't care. I realize don't think about what everybody else is saying.
Right.
Just go for your gut. Go for that intuition. Don't judge yourself.
There are two words I like to use when I find myself facing something I'm not sure I want to do, and it's just begin.
Oh, that's
just
good.
begin.
Oh, that's good.
That's all you've got to do.
Dude, if you start, all of a sudden things get done. And you know what? Because I'm a great starter. I am an excellent starter. But what I had to learn, too, is just and this is the thing, finish it.
Yeah.
Wait, just get it done, and then you can always change it. Because what happens is you get to start, and then it's not perfect. So you don't want to finish it. But no, finish it, and then you can change it. Dude, these are things you almost have to hypnotize yourself. You literally have to get out of your own brain and get out of your own way.
It's funny you say that because I like to sketch as well, and I'll sketch on the iPad, and the iPad allows you to undo. It's like, it almost sort of takes away that. Okay, I've got this now. I've got to work this. You know, you can correct mistakes all the time. And it's like, well, it's cool. It's also sort of a cheat. You know.
Listen, everything I do, I have a mantra. It's start small, think big.
Right.
Start small, think big. Okay, just do a little bit.
Right.
I'm actually taking Mandarin Chinese lessons right now. I picked the hardest language to learn, but I'm getting it.
Yeah,
wait, I'm all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute. I've been doing this for like a month. And I'm like, wait a minute, I understood that. When I heard the lady, she was like, wuxia, and I was like, I know what wuxia means.
Yeah.
I know what that means, you know? And so I realized, okay, start small. First of all, I haven't mastered English. I had to literally look at myself like, have I mastered English? No. So if I get to a point where I can tell somebody I'm hungry, and I can tell somebody where's the bathroom in Chinese, I'm good. You know what I mean?
How is one human so talented?
No, because first of all, it's not even that. I just keep going. Like, just try everything you want to do, and I only do what I want. I don't do, if there's something I don't want to do, it's like, don't even worry about it. You know what I mean?
You're going to be good. I'm sorry, go ahead, Preston.
As I've aged, I've found that I need to be working on something. I need to be working on something that I can improve upon, something that's a bit of a challenge. And I'm loving it. I didn't realize this until just a few years ago, whether it be, working on a golf swing, or I'm a musician and I want to improve and to keep going on that. And I love having that.
It's so satisfying.
Yeah.
First of all, listen, you've been talked out of your creativity, man. You've been told you're not creative. First of all, like you said, I'm left-handed. The world is a right-handed world, which deals with math and science. So all the arts are given as hobbies, but just half your brain.
Yeah.
So you have to me, I'm literally telling everybody, be more creative, exercise it, because you've been talked out of it a long time ago, and it's so satisfying. I built Legos like crazy.
Yeah. So speaking of arts and stuff like that, so my daughter's in 8th grade. She's in school right now, so I can talk about her. What the arts has done for her has given her the confidence. So she's in 8th grade, and she's having the best year of her life, and it's all because of what she's been doing in the theater. And it's a very, very they just everybody nurturing, and everybody loves each other, and it's just so positive. But she's getting that from the arts.
That's right.
Yeah, and she's been playing sports ever since she was 4 years old too.
But look what at the schools they're taking the instruments out of schools. Art is given a short shrift. All this stuff is treated like music and art and whatever. They're like, do that on your own time. That's a hobby.
No,
but math and science, if you got that, you're good. And I think we're severely lacking right now, just as a society, because we're not creative enough. This is why we run to Avengers and we run to the movies, because we need it so bad. All the story, all the content. We need more.
Imagine the world without art. Imagine the world without creativity, without music, without paintings, and what we would be bereft of if we didn't have that. And to your point about all you have to do is create. It doesn't matter if it's good. Just do something, create that, and if it stinks, do the next one.
First of all, that's the world I grew up in. Factory life. Flint, Michigan. Everybody, they were like, "What you doing drawing? What's that? Hey, what kind of boy are you?" And you're like, "Hey, man, look, I like drawing. Okay, I like music. I play the flute. You know what they would call me? They were like, "Why are you playing the flute?" I was like, "I'm bigger than you. I can bench more than you. So what? So now what?" And they were like, "Yeah, you're right."
Did you see the Equalizer, the second Equalizer movie?
Yes.
He's counseling a kid who's an artist.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's it. That's right there. That's just,
it's going to come out. This is what the whole graffiti thing is about, man.
Yeah.
It's like, put it on canvas and sell it.
Yeah, I just think of math and science. But you go to somebody's home now, they don't have microscopes hanging on the wall. You know what I mean? No, they got I play the guitar for so math and science. I don't necessarily. If that's not what you're gonna do, you're not gonna take that wherever you go, unless. My brother's a chemist. He's a scientist. My sister's a math teacher.
And that's fine.
You know what I mean? I'm not knocking it. But,
right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying make it more equal.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And we would be remiss if we didn't throw some love to Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, yeah.
Casey and I are huge fans of the show. NBC gave you the new home, which is very cool, which is wonderful. The show was on the brink of going away and came back, and it is I think one of the sharpest ensembles on television. You're a revelation on the show, as is Andre Brower, who just unbelievable. So everything, you're up and running.
Yes. Season 7 starts February 6th. We already have been picked up for season 8.
Nice.
That's the vote of confidence, man.
Why do you think it works
8
so well?
seasons. It's crazy.
Why do you think it works so well?
Because we love each other, man.
Yeah.
And this is the greatest thing ever. One thing I'm gonna preach right now.
Yeah.
Competition is the opposite of creativity. The opposite. We do not compete with each other as a cast.
Right.
When you see a show fall, it's usually because the actors or somebody within there is competing with each other, and it causes the thing to blow up out of nowhere. We literally are all operating on our own levels, creating and encouraging each other. We are a true family, man. I don't know what else to say.
And everyone gets their moment. And also, you allow the self-deprecation, the stuff that they have you doing is hilarious.
I love it.
And again, a lot of people forget out of the gate.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine was sort of the sweetheart. It won, I think, a Golden Globe for the best comedy series and so on and so forth. And then suddenly I'm like, what the F? This show is great. And why are they getting rid of it for? Now, this far into it has got to be the ultimate, acknowledgement. And also that when you have a fan base, you talk about the connection to the fan base, that actually was vocally going after making sure the show came back.
Well, I got something to say. When you're talking about Nielsen ratings, that's that 18 to 35 and the whole thing. But just as the deal, and you want to talk about math and science, if you really want to get a good gauge on what people are watching, you need a bigger pie. But the Nielsen is literally only 5,000 homes.
Yeah.
So wait a minute.
But also love doing, creative things with the family so everybody can get out. So there's something for everyone on this list. And that's what I usually try to do every year. And I, personally select these. I get information. These are all new. And I try to do all new every year. It doesn't always happen. So sometimes we do iterations of different workshops and things like this. Things like that. This list is completely new. So this is new to me and new to everybody, who likes to follow along with my fall activities list.
When will this list be available on PrestonandSteve.com, or is it already?
It is already
okay.
available on PrestonandSteve.com, so you can follow along. And then you can also follow along on social media. Mine is at Kathy Romano 11. Any of the Preston and Steve accounts, when I do these workshops and do all of these events, I'll be posting about them as well. So we're going to start off with the first one on my fall activities list, 2024.
Fall activities.
This first one is a do-it-yourself craft heaven is basically how I would describe it. It's Classes by Carrie B. So you can elevate your connection to nature with Classes by Carrie B. Drawing from her extensive experience in conservation education, Carrie offers a wealth of nature-inspired workshops in Wyncote, Pennsylvania. That's another thing. We're scattered all over the place with these activities.
So there's probably something close to you.
Yep. Carrie's captivating classes invites participants to explore the beauty of the outdoors through artistic expression. Now, I'm highlighting 4 of her workshops, but be sure to check out her full schedule of classes because she does it all. She has so many classes. This is what she does. And it, like I said, it's a do-it-yourself craft heaven for me. So the first one that I'm highlighting is the Pumpkin Dried Floral Centerpiece Workshop. You can create your own gorgeous pumpkin centerpiece and learn the art of arranging botanicals and flowers to make a seasonal work of art.
I think I'd like that. I like a good pumpkin centerpiece.
Well, you know what?
I put your weed in it.
I actually put out. So, Steve, I actually put out less like home decor inside my house because I'm doing all of these workshops.
Yeah,
and so you come home and you have these, these beautiful arrangements that you can put all over the house.
I'm right with you, and I love all this stuff. I love all this, the pumpkins and the gourds and all that
You said dried pumpkins?
Dried floral. So
Dried
it's
floral.
dried
Okay.
florals that you'll
Gotcha.
arrange on top of a pumpkin.
Okay.
And then she does the pressed flower pumpkin workshop, which is like dried flowers again, and you kind of use like a Mod Podge and you put it on the pumpkin, so you decorate it with all these really colorful flowers. And then she does a decoupage pumpkin. You'll transform a plain pumpkin into a vibrant, one-of-a-kind decoration, and you choose from like hundreds of napkins. You know the napkins that have like the prints on them?
Sure.
That's what you're using to decorate the pumpkin. And then another one of these that I'm really excited about because this looks so different to me. It's the flower resin skull workshop. So you'll transform a plain skull form into a very different Halloween decoration. You'll arrange a dazzling array of dried flowers, botanicals, and realistic foliage within the resin. And throughout the class, you can.
So these are resin skulls. These aren't actually
Yep.
stolen human skulls.
No, Steve,
Okay.
we're not using.
Okay.
I haven't
All right.
found a workshop yet that uses real skulls.
Okay, let me know when you do.
Yeah, this is a resin skull. And they'll also do oracle card readings at this workshop.
Skulls are all the rage, too. Yeah.
Classes with Carrie B supplies all the necessary materials for each workshop.
Oh, wow.
So you can feel free to bring snacks with you. You can bring a bottle of wine, champagne. You know, I like to do that when, you go to places like this. But everything that you need for the class, Carrie supplies for you.
We're looking at, is this one of...
Isn't that so cool? That's the skull that
That's
we're
unfriggin' real.
Wow.
All right, maybe I'll switch from pumpkins to skulls.
Yeah. Look, is it made of glass, crystal, or?
It's resin.
Resin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. By the way, here's a text from somebody who says, I am a 36-year-old male metal machinist in a welding shop, and fall activity day is a day that I look forward to every year. He says, it's a literal date night life hack.
Yes.
Praise be Kathy and the fall activities.
And we just got started. That's a manly man working with metal.
Yeah, well, thank you. And listen, these are not just for the ladies. Last year when we did these, we had a bunch of guys come out and do these. Now, most of them were with their girlfriend, but so what? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, the skull thing, check that out if you get a chance when you go online. Look at some of the stuff there. It's pretty amazing.
How many activities on this year's list?
So we have 10 activities, and then we have 2 honorable mentions at the end. Okay. So real quick, before you play that clip again, the events take place in a large social room at Towers at Wyncote. Again, all of the information is on PrestonandSteve.com. And some of these businesses have offered coupon codes. So they're Kathy's coupon code is what I'm calling them. If you sign up for any of Carrie's classes, you enter Kathy WMMR at checkout for a free pressed flower sun catcher when you book a class.
All right, here we go.
All activities.
Ha!
Next up is the Pennsylvania rail bike. Now, with this this takes a little bit of travel. And Steve, you kept mentioning going to Jim Thorpe. And so I was waiting to tell you about this one because if you do head out that way, you should go a little bit farther and do this.
So this was one of my destinations.
I did this one already.
I haven't been to yet.
It was absolutely gorgeous. So it's a scenic rail bike adventure that allows you to see the beauty of the Pocono Mountains along the Lackawaxen River. The Pennsylvania Rail Bike is a family-run business in Hawley, Pennsylvania. Their electric pedal assist rail bikes offers an enjoyable experience for all ages. So kids can do it as well. You can cruise along. You can bike. You can do the workout, which is what I did. Or they do have a pedal that you can hit when you get tired, and the electric bike just takes you along the rails.
There you go.
Have you ever seen the video of this course and everything that you go through? It's amazing.
Yeah, they have them down at the shore as well.
Yeah.
Yes, they do have a shore option as well. And so you can, there's different options for this, different lengths of time. I did the one that was 2 hours and just going along this river. And now I did it early, so the leaves were just changing a tiny bit, but I cannot.
You got robbed.
I cannot imagine what it's going to be like, in a week or two when all of the leaves start to change.
Yeah.
Because even with it green, it was absolutely beautiful.
So a question, because I've been watching the videos of this place. So when you all start, as you're starting up, you take off intermittently? Is that what happens?
So you go as a group and you're actually attached until you get past a certain point. 'Cause you have to cross.
Right.
They put the railroad crossings down and everything. So it's an active railroad track.
Okay.
And
there aren't actual trains on this train.
Not at the time that you're traveling through, but yes, it is, during some days it is active.
Is it true that you end up going 75 miles an hour on these things?
Oh, no, I don't.
Okay.
Is that what it says? Oh, I was like, what? What else
Oh my God! I'm not so sure about this.
God.
I just swallowed a badger.
It was absolutely stunning. It was so beautiful. Steve, wait, to finish answering, so you're attached, you're all attached together just to start. Maybe it was like 5-10 minutes or something like that.
Right.
And then they separate everybody and you kind of go at your own pace. You're still with the group, but you go at your own pace.
Okay. Are there points where you can stop and take
they
pictures?
do. There's two stopping points. And you can, kind of get off, you take some pictures and they, turn the bikes around and then you head back.
All right.
And you can enhance your outing with a stop at the charming Black and Brass coffee shop beforehand, right in town, or cap off the ride with a delectable dinner at Robin and Raven, known for its excellent cuisine and creative cocktails. I thought if you're going out that way, there's two options for you to stop.
I'm going to bring my skull too.
Yeah.
All right, up next.
Fall activities.
This is a Halloween charcuterie board.
Oh, okay. Preston, you're a charcuterie master.
Yeah.
And listen, I love the name of her business, The Board Housewife, BOARD. The Board Housewife is hosting 2 hauntingly delicious Halloween charcuterie board workshops. The first workshop is at the Art in the Barn in Furlong, Pennsylvania on October 24th at 7 o'clock. The second workshop is in Doylestown on October 30th, also at 7 o'clock. So get ready to unleash your inner cheesemonger and craft an artful, ghoulishly good charcuterie board. Emily will teach you the tricks of the trade when it comes to properly cutting and displaying the array of creamy, crumbly, and savory cheeses. You weave your way through the graveyard of cured meats, pickled vegetables, and other festive accompaniments, arranging them in a coffin-shaped palm leaf platter. By the end of the workshop,
that's cool.
You'll have mastered the art of charcuterie and created a spooktacular centerpiece worthy for any Halloween soiree, and you obviously leave with your charcuterie board.
So if you're having a Halloween party, go set up your own charcuterie board.
Yeah, and these are close to Halloween, the 24th and the 30th.
Nice.
So a little bit later in October. And Emily is offering a coupon code. Enter Kathy List at checkout, and you'll get 10% off of her Halloween charcuterie board workshop.
Fall activities.
So you guys know there's amazing farms throughout, in our area. And
there's one right behind the Plymouth Meeting Mall.
There is one. And actually, I already went there and cut flowers with the twins, my niece and my nephew. There's amazing farms all over. I mean, Marymead, Shady Brook, they do these, big,
they're awesome,
elaborate fall festivals. So, but I'm highlighting a smaller family-run farm this year, and it's Coleman Hay Farm. They're in Chalfont, Pennsylvania, and they have a fall fest that gives families the opportunity to have a unique and personal farm experience. The farm is transformed into fall the last weekend in September with pumpkins, mums, corn stalks, and straw bales. There's activities for the kids. They have a corn pit, pumpkin ring toss, cornhole, tractor trailer pulls, and they're adding even more this year.
What's a corn pit?
Did I say corn pit? You know what? I think it's like
it's a pit and you throw corn in it.
Kind of. I think it's like the kids can play in it.
Okay. Like a ball pit.
A ball pit, but with corn.
Yeah, right. I think that's what it is.
Okay, interesting.
During fall.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So it's kernels of dried corn, and the kids get in it and roll around and
jump in that, you dummy.
It's like the end of the movie Witness, where you get into the corn silo.
Yes. Only this one won't kill you.
Look,
it's fine.
Pretend you're Danny Glover.
Yeah.
During the Fall Fest, they offer a hayride to choose a pumpkin. Along the way, you'll see the herd of Texas Longhorns and Angus beef cows, chickens, and honeybees. They have a whole honeybee operation, and you'll kind of pass by that at a little bit of a distance. The Scottish Highland cattle and Nigerian dwarf goats are available for an up-close and personal experience, and they love, apparently, animal crackers as their snack. They'll have hot cocoa, apple cider, delicious donuts available in the barn. You can shop their local honey, meat products, and decor. Plus, they have a great spot to take a family photo inside.
Where's this again?
This is in Chalfont, Pennsylvania.
Okay. And what's the name of it?
Coleman Hay Farms. It's a family-run and operated farm, and this is their second annual Fall Fest. They are offering a Kathy's coupon code.
Ooh.
Upon entry, mention CHF. That's the code, and you'll get 10% off your admission.
All right, on to activity number 4.
Fall activities.
Ha!
This is actually activity number 5.
Number 5.
Fall activities.
5.
Four? I love this next activity and the women that are involved in this. So it's the Bucks County Flower Collective, and they're doing a dried botanical pumpkin workshop in Pipersville, Pennsylvania. You can embrace the essence of autumn in Bucks County with this dried botanical pumpkin workshop by the Bucks County Flower Collective. So the collective is a group of 10 female flower farmers who offer locally grown flowers to florists and the community, and they offer these perfect fall workshops. So
say that fast.
Yeah.
What?
Female flower farmers.
I know, female flower farmers. So this workshop is a little more of like a full experience than some of the others on the list. So it's held at this stunning barn. It's an 1800s barn. The immersive experience will have you crafting not one, but two amazing pumpkin centerpieces to adorn your home this fall. So under the expert guidance of the collective's talented growers, you'll transform a large tabletop pumpkin and a smaller companion into a gorgeous fall centerpiece. After channeling your creativity, you'll be free to explore the enchanting Southern Pines Flower Farm. So I've been here. The owner of the farm is a woman named Ann. You guys are going to, she's like a badass that grows flowers. So she was a DEA agent in the 80s. She worked during the crack cocaine era and traveled all over the world completing missions. And now she does crisis management for the Mets and the Bull Riding Association.
That's pretty cool.
And she grows flowers in Bucks County.
Does everyone get a complimentary violet crack?
No. She didn't keep any. So come and embrace the beauty of the season, guided by the talented hands and the hearts of the Bucks County Flower Collective. So she's just one of the collective. It's a group of 10 women, and most of them will be at these workshops. The workshops will be held on October 10th, 25th, and 26th from 6 till 8 p.m. And they are offering a Kathy's coupon code. You use the code Kathy for $15 off their workshop. And I'll actually be out at the workshop on the 10th.
We're looking at some pictures of their setup. It's pretty awesome, man.
I mean,
it's huge.
The barn is beautiful. Yeah, it's really. This is. You're like out in Bucks County. You're on a real farm, and you're making these pumpkins. It's going to be a blast.
Here's a text that came in and says, I am a slut for an autumn farm. That's from Jesse Lee. So thank you. Then you found the right spot.
Flower farms are actually, I didn't realize how huge they were. Like, you just go out and picking your own flowers. My wife goes nuts for those places.
All right, number 6.
Fall activities.
The Highlands Night of Jack-o'-lanterns in Fort Washington, Pennsylvania. So you can experience a magical evening at the Highlands in Fort Washington during their annual Night of Jack-o'-lanterns event scheduled for October 27th from 6 to 9 p.m. This family-friendly celebration transforms the historic estate, 2-acre formal gardens, into a wonderland illuminated by countless carved pumpkins. So it's like, those the
artistically carved pumpkins?
Yeah.
Yes.
So as you stroll through the enchanting grounds, sip on warm apple cider, and pause at a cozy fire pit to roast s'mores, the event offers a perfect blend of fall flavors and activities, including sweet treat vendors and adult beverages.
We're looking at pics. Pretty amazing.
Children and adults will delight in visiting the estate's 4 charming resident goats. The long-standing community favorite provides a gentle, non-scary alternative to typical Halloween events. So this is perfect for families. If you have young kids, you want to go out and do, a Halloween event, this is it.
Oh, yeah. And the Highland Mansion?
Yeah, they're a nonprofit. So all of the proceeds from this event support the Highlands educational programming.
Kathy, I was talking to you about this place last week because I had never heard of it before, and I stumbled upon them over Instagram because of, you're putting this list together. It's a really gorgeous looking place, and it's right in Fort Washington. I had no idea that the place existed.
Yeah. So the Highlands Mansion and Gardens, it's a 59-acre historic site with a late 18th century Georgian mansion, 2-acre formal gardens and walking trails surrounded by a massive stone wall. The gardens offers a beautiful example of the early 20th century estate gardening with an unusual blend of horticulture and architecture.
Well, you can lead a horticulture, but you can't make her think.
The grounds are open to the public from dawn to dusk daily, and they're free of charge. The Halloween event is a fundraiser that helps support educational programming. Proceeds go to the newly established outdoor classroom that make it possible for them to offer transportation to inner city schools to visit the Highlands for field trips. And they also hold events at the mansion as well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check this place out.
Yeah, so this
quick to get to.
And this is one, obviously the mansion is open and the grounds are open for you to tour and walk through, but this event specifically is on October 27th.
All right, yeah. So keep an eye out on the calendar dates for all these places because some events are going to be gone before you know it.
7th activity. Oh, come on.
Fall activities.
You bastard.
Also love the name of this business and the class. So it's Orange You Crafty, and it's the Spooky Sea Glass Halloween Tree Workshop. Get ready to craft your way into Halloween spirit with a bewitching twist on fall decor. At Pinspiration in East Greenwich, New Jersey, we're making a spooky sea glass Halloween tree. So I'm new to this sea glass stuff, but
I've never heard of it.
People go crazy over sea glass. Like there are sea glass collectors, and they love it for decor and, just to have the pieces of the sea glass. I know someone who has a bowl and she will find it herself. And so she has this little collection of sea glass.
That she finds out on the beach?
Yeah, that she'll find. Yeah, she'll go to different beaches and stuff like that, and she'll find sea glass.
I look for it every time I'm at the beach. And sometimes you'll find a piece of sea glass that has not been worn down by the ocean quite enough. So you got to toss it back
Throw
in.
it back.
Still got to
work it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to
I
construct.
once found Seabiscuit at the beach.
We're going to construct a 9-inch shimmering tree with orange, black, and purple sea glass. As you weave the battery-operated lights through the branches, your creation will come to life twinkling with ghostly charm, and then you top it off with a witch's hat and some sparkly spiders.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so you can choose the Night of Enchantment, September 25th or October 3rd, 6:30 until 8:30 in the evening, and prepare to bewitch your home with the hauntingly beautiful decoration. It's the perfect way to branch out your Halloween decor and show that you are not just crafty, but you're originally spooky.
Get it?
The Kathy's coupon code is MMR24 for $5 off. And then if you go to the event, you'll get a 20% off coupon for your next visit. And you'll also be entered to win a free splatter room session for 4. So this is in East Greenwich, New Jersey. 2 date options.
What's a splatter room?
Where
You don't wanna
take you take the paintbrushes and you just splatter it on your canvas.
Okay.
So you're kind of just throwing the paint around. But you get messy and it's fun for the kids and all that kind of stuff.
I didn't realize this whole sea glass thing. Very cool.
Yeah, people
I didn't
are.
either.
So I was really excited to find her. I found her just on, I think it was on Facebook. Something popped up and I was like, what is this? Because I knew people were really getting into sea glass.
Can open up a place called Sea Glass and Succulents. Lots of S's in there.
Oh, I love that.
I put it together myself.
All right, up next, Press.
Casey?
Oh, yeah, my bad.
All activities. Yeah, a little quicker next time.
So we usually do a train ride during the holiday season. There are a lot that do holiday train rides, but they also do fall train rides. And we're highlighting the Woodstown Central Railroad in Woodstown, New Jersey. They invite you to chug along through the golden landscapes of New Jersey on their enchanting fall excursion. So the popular Autumn Leaf Pumpkin Train is a magical 90-minute adventure that whisks you away on October weekends. As you roll through the countryside, you'll see sights of fall while traveling along the Fenwick Creek. Midway through the journey, the train stops at the picturesque Fenwick Grove. Here, you'll have 30 minutes to wander through a pumpkin patch to find your perfect pumpkin. You can warm your hands with a cup of freshly pressed cider and indulge in the sweet comfort of donuts.
So you get off the train, you can go get your pumpkin, you get back on the train, you go back.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool, right? And that's their most popular
You haven't
one.
done this yet, have you?
I have not done this one,
Okay.
no. The Autumn Leaf Pumpkin Train is their most popular. But they also have, in November, they do the Fall Foliage Rambler, and it's a 2-hour ride that will wind you through Woodstown, Swedesboro, and Salem, where the landscape transforms into a living canvas of crimson, gold, and amber. And then on September 28th, which is coming up next weekend, right? You can ride the meticulously restored 1930s passenger train for a journey through the scenic landscape. Your adventure doesn't end at the station. You have to make sure that you visit the Woodstown Fall Festival. It's just minutes away from the station, and the event features an array of vendors, live music, and a variety of food options.
So this is a cool way to look at the leaves, right?
Yeah, and this is another event in South Jersey, or another activity that you can do in South Jersey. I feel like sometimes I don't get to South Jersey as much for these activities, so I was glad to add a couple on.
And you said that these are all new places.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised. No Floral and Hardy this year?
So there's no Floral and Hardy. However, keep in mind, you can always go back to my previous list. Floral and Hardy still has their workshops. They do their pumpkin succulents. They do their fall planters and all of that.
You went there, didn't you?
He did.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
did it with
did,
me
yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go back to the other list too. If you you can. There's I think at this point I have hundreds of activities out there.
Yeah, no. I love this is all new, and I love that we're being introduced to the. We have 2 train components.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. All
right, we're ready for number 9.
Number 9.
All right, here we go.
All activities.
So this one is really cool and different too, I think. It's the Talking Teacup in Chalfont. And it's where Halloween meets high tea in a delightfully spooky soiree. This enchanting tea house transforms for its fall event. So they actually changed the decor and the theme of the room for every tea party that they do.
Do you know there's a delightfully spooky instead of goddamn terrifying? It's always lighter verbiage, yeah.
But Steve, because we're going to be drinking tea with our pinky
and it's
in the
not
air.
goddamn terrifying.
Right, exactly.
Spill it and burn yourself. Yeah.
So
scary.
Patty, the
Mother effing scary.
Patty, the mastermind behind this hauntingly cozy haven, invites guests to leave the mundane world behind for a 90 magical minutes. Here, witches and warlocks can indulge in Halloween-themed treats from ghostly scones to batwing sandwiches, all lovingly crafted from scratch.
So this is like a high tea with a full.
It's a high tea.
What?
And yeah, I mean, and that's what they say.
I love high tea.
But that's what they say they want. They want you to come in and kind of just like leave the outside world out there, come in, like enjoy this. You can dress up. They have like, cool different witches walking around and stuff like that.
That's great.
Batwing sandwiches?
Yeah.
That's what they call when your nuts stick to your leg.
It's a different thing. Although you can have that. You have to order ahead though.
Why you guys always
Armando
have
will
to go
come
there.
out. Do you like the look of the Batwing? No, I've had I thought all tea was like you go have tea until I had a high tea not knowing, and it's a wonderful experience.
So as you sip on the specially brewed potions, you'll find yourself immersed in a wonderland where pumpkins might sprout legs and teacups whisper secrets.
And this is Chalfont?
This is in Chalfont. Yep. So they have a number of tea parties planned. They have the Poe, a cup of tea, which will include an Edgar Allan Poe short story, Nevermore brunch, the Witch's Brew, which the Talking Teacup supplies the mixers, and you bring the booze. Potions and Plates luncheon, a bewitching brunch, and a wicked tea party. All of the information again on PrestonandSteve.com.
Do you have to book ahead?
Yes, you do have to book ahead for this.
All right, number 10.
Fall activities.
We're going out to Sellersville, Pennsylvania.
Sellersville?
Try to spread this all out. Just one more plant. I can't do a fall activity list without a pumpkin succulent class, Preston.
Ah, yes.
So this is where it is. It is out in Sellersville, and just one more plant transforms autumn into a botanical adventure. The family-owned gem offers fall workshops that blend gardening with Halloween flair. So you can craft spooky dried floral cauldrons and witches' brooms, or delve into the creepy side of things with the coffin planters. And of course, my absolute favorite is the succulent pumpkin. And they have a number of workshops. They put a bunch of classes out there to do the succulent pumpkins because a lot of people love
But
them.
look at this, very cool. Now, do they have scarecrows?
You know what? I don't think they do scarecrows.
That's okay.
No, sorry,
It's okay.
Steve.
Yeah, you know what they have on October 25th? It's a potting activity, drink, and piercing. You can go get pierced.
Oh my God, get your Prince Albert and your pumpkin in the same visit.
They do conch piercing. I don't know what that is.
Conch?
Lobe. Yeah.
Yeah.
CONCH, conch, lobe, cartilage, tragus. I don't know what that is either.
Isn't that a Scottish dish?
Or, nope, that's haggis. Or nose piercing. But that's on October 25th. I've never heard of a piercing party.
No, that is cool, especially with the holiday flair.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is another one. They have a bunch of different workshops, so you can check out their website. I highlighted a couple of them, but there's much more on their website. And the classes promise a unique blend of creativity and seasonal charm, perfect for fall and Halloween lovers. At Just One More Plant, fall isn't just observed, it's cultivated one enchanting creation at a time.
All right, are we doing the honorable mentions
We are
too?
going to do the honorable mentions.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Fall activities.
Honorable mention.
So it was just something that I wanted to put on the list. They kind of came in late, and I felt like I couldn't really pass them up. One is actually a 5K that's taking place. So it's the Haunted Hustle 5K run and walk. You can join the spooky fun through historic Newtown Borough. Starting at 30 North Chancellor Street, this Halloween-themed race invites participants to wear their best costume. All finishers receive a medal and an event T-shirt with prizes for top runners and best costumes. I just thought it was cool. Kids can dress up, adults can dress up, and you go and you do this 5K. And it's benefiting the NR2F1 Foundation, which is dedicated to helping those with a rare genetic disorder.
Has anyone ever done a Halloween 5K where you were actually actually chased by zombies?
By zombies? That would be a really good idea, right? And then the other honorable mention, and this came from my visit to the ice cream shop in Bridgeport. You guys remember I went to Frosty Falls
You had a
ice
seizure.
cream. Yeah, I couldn't believe how amazingly delicious this ice cream was and that I never knew about it. And my brother lives right down the street. So in October, the borough of Bridgeport transforms into Booport, a town that truly embraces the Halloween spirit. So I actually went to Bridgeport last year for Halloween for the first time. And it's just one of those towns that, like Merchantville over in New Jersey, I think I had them on my list last year. It's one of those towns that the whole town gets into it, and everything is decorated. And so they have towering 20-foot skeletons and giant spiders creeping across the row home rooftops, creating a spooky atmosphere that lasts all month long. On Halloween night, the streets come alive with hundreds of trick-or-treaters. Steve, it's sort of like your neighborhood. My brother said he was having to run back out and get more candy.
Yes, love that.
The month-long celebration includes a variety of events, from a lively Halloween parade to themed parties, costume contests, and the highly anticipated return of the Bridgeport Elks Lodge Haunted House. Be sure to visit the events page for details on the Grand Halloween Parade and the after party, the Zombie Bar Crawl, the Princess and Heroes Party, and the Doggone Halloween at Frosty Falls ice cream, and more spine-chilling fun. So it's just, it's a whole, the whole town is going to be called Booport for the month of October. It's Halloween everywhere you go, and they're going to have different events. So make sure you check out the website.
I love it.
We'll give all the credit to Kathy.
And that is this year's activity.
Coming to you from Beulah Kinwood.
The list is available at PrestonandSteve.com, and we have to play out of fall activities with, Kyle Mack did all these great songs for us. So why don't we do one more before we officially wrap?
It's fall. In time for activities. So, Kathy, what do you have for me? We've been waiting all year for fall activities. Get smashed. And we're not talking pumpkins. Day drinking. And fun things for the children. Kathy got her nipple pierced for fall activities. Kathy, yes, she's got a list. She thinks you can handle it. In all the activities, let's go to a haunted house, a coin maze we can't live without. It just gets better and better. Yeah, all right. Let's go and get this started. Sit tight. Now here is what you wanted. Kathy Romano's all new fall activities.
All right, the list is out and available now. PrestonandSteve.com. Check the fall activities list and get those things planned.
Thank you to Acme Markets for sponsoring the list. Fresh foods, local flavors. Follow along at Kathy Romano 11 or any of the Preston and Steve Show accounts. And we're at each activity I do, I'm going to post something. I'll actually post my video of the PA rail bike that I did. I'll do that today.
And get on them now because they're going to book up fast.
Yep. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in just a moment. Don't forget, we have Good Money It coming up again. We are going to have Aron Magner on the program with Disco Biscuits. There's an event coming up. You'll want to hear about that, too. So stay put. We'll be back in just a moment.
But let me tell you what happened. The internet.
Yeah.
The internet spoke for us. They literally went nuts. And they got like 100 million people saying, wait a minute, why did you cancel this show? And for NBC to pick us up, man, and to give us the love.
Yes,
To give us that kind of love. What can I say? And now you're talking about in an era where you get maybe 10 episodes, and they call it 2 seasons. You know what I mean? We're well over 170 episodes. I mean, literally in the can.
A good friend of the show, Kate Flannery, has appeared on the show as well.
Kate's great.
And everyone that goes through, it's just nothing. It's just great things about the environment on the show. I also have to bring up the fact You were in Deadpool 2.
Yes. For a second.
For a second.
Oh, that was a big troll. We trolled everybody on that one.
What was that like? Because he is so talented, Ryan Reynolds.
Oh my God.
And we get the impression that there's just a lot of free lines going on right and left. What was the experience like working on that?
It was an amazing experience because I love Ryan, but the big thing was the trick was we were going to troll everybody.
Yeah, and you did.
Because I knew instantly that I was going to die right away. Okay, but so I went on a whole press tour. Like you got to, but see, this is the thing. Fanboys deserve that.
Yeah.
Because they go out of their way to figure it all out. I already know. You know what I mean? I got the spoiler.
Doesn't that take the enjoyment out of it?
Oh, they want to.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, we got something for you. You should have seen at the premiere. They were like, hey, what is going on? No.
I mean, because everyone dies.
Oh, and Ryan knew that. And Ryan was like, he's the smartest guy ever. He's like, he actually gave them a real surprise.
Right, yeah.
Because they thought for sure that Terry Crews is finally in a Marvel movie. What the hell's happening? And it was so good, dude.
Ryan's ahead of the game with, he's a few steps ahead of everybody else with the joke. You know?
He is.
He knows where the joke is going before you know where the joke is going.
He's amazing.
Well, he's a perfect example of taking, because the first appearance of Deadpool was in a substandard. I mean, listen, it was okay, but he knew that it should be something, and he stuck with the project for years.
Yes.
And would not relent.
Yep. But you gotta listen. First of all, there's two people you can't imagine, as any other thing. There's Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. Dude, there's nobody else that can take that spot.
You're right.
You know what I mean? And that, to me, that's the ultimate. Like, this is where I want to be. I want to be irreplaceable.
Yeah.
I want to be like, you got to get Terry Crews, or you're missing it. And that's my goal. Like, in everything that I do, I want it to just be me. And that's what the ultimate in creativity is. You know what I mean? And when you got Ryan, when he created that character, he made it his. I can't even see it any other way. It was an honor.
Well, I think now you can say we need a Terry Crews type, and people know exactly what you're looking for. So you've reached that. Any shot of you returning? It has, because it's happened before, as in the Marvel universe or DC.
Ooh, I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to. In fact, when you look at Deadpool, I didn't die. I was literally on life support at the end. I was laying on the ground. They were pumping my chest.
It's true.
Beep, beep. So anything can happen.
I'd love to see that.
I'm open to all of it because I can.
Yeah.
My deal is to always keep people surprised. I like to pop out of your cereal box. You know what I mean? Like, what is he doing? What is this? I literally, because this is the thing. Everyone had me at this kind of career.
Yeah.
And my deal is, you can do anything. I want to show people I exist to show you what's possible. And that's for real.
Well, but the truth of the matter is whenever we see you, and this is the ultimate compliment, we know it's going to be a good time. You're in so many things that we enjoy. That, in our microcosm here, when people say, like, when they listen to the show and it gets into a tough time or something, that's the ultimate compliment. You're that exponentially with so much that you do in those projects. That's got to be, that's got to be so fulfilling.
But this is why, again, growing up in Flint, Michigan, and the whole log line was, you're going to hate your life. So, you got to get ready to make the sacrifice right now. And I was like, no. I am only going to do what I love.
Yeah.
If I make a little bit of money, fine. But I'm only going to do what I love. But you know what happens? Everything I'm doing now, I would do for free. I'll be honest with you. I'll do AGT for free. I would do Brooklyn Nine-Nine for free. But what happens is, when you love it that much, they pay you a lot of money.
Well, that is the advice I tell our interns. Or my father, both Preston and I fathers gave us the same advice. If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Right.
And you will naturally excel at it because you will invest the time in it. And with that will come the reward.
Dude, I feel like I am playing all the time. I've just said play. And when I get there, it's like, my God, who gets this?
Yeah.
Who gets this? You know what I mean?
Well, you deserve it, man.
It's
You really
wonderful.
do.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. America's Got Talent, Mondays, 8 o'clock, and it's the Champions that's going on right now.
That's it.
Make sure that you check out it. Dude, we loved you here last time you were here. We absolutely loved it. You got to come back anytime you're in Philly. We love having you here.
I love coming
You're
here,
such a
guys.
positive energy force. So.
First of all, when people talk about this stuff too, people kind of there's people who roll their eyes like, yeah, Mr. Positive. But first of all, it's true.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything that's not true. No. And this is the deal. Because what's happening is your brain is like, it grows weeds. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you constantly got to pluck that junk out.
Yeah.
All the crap, all the little stuff, all that mess. You got to always, this is why you have to clean your house. This is why you have to dust all the time. Because if you leave it there, it's going to get dirty and it's going to get messed up. So this is the part of being positive, is reminding myself what's true, what's real. Like, it is up to you. You can do it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And it's not hyperbole. It's not, oh, man, we're pie in the sky. This is for real stuff, man. I don't want anybody to mix it up and think that I'm just like, blah, blah.
No, we firmly believe in what you're saying, creative visualization, seeing the prize and going after it. People who dispense and dismiss it will pay the price for it. And there's so much to be gleaned if you allow yourself to buy into it and move forward, because ultimately everyone wants everyone to realize their optimum, their maximum, and that's something that you can achieve.
I'm with it, man.
It's not just crap.
I'm with it.
I love
Let's go. I'm pumped now. Let's work out again. I don't want to be your whore.
Perfect segue. Let's hear it for Terry Crews. Love you, man. Thanks for being here. Terry Crews.
TV, they have billboards in the city now, and they're promoting the Flintstones are on at like 6 or 6:30 every night.
I know, it's crazy.
I know, it's so stupid that we're watching Recanned show, but MeTV does it well. They do the Flintstones into the Honeymooners. I always hated the Honeymooners, but I loved the Flintstones. And they're the same show, basically.
It's the same show, yeah.
But I didn't like the Honeymooners because Ralph Cramden was an a-hole.
Yeah.
He just,
Alice, I'm going to beat you to death with a hammer.
Right, that's kind of what the implication. I mean, to the moon.
If my dinner isn't on the table at 5:30, I'll punch you in the throat until you die.
Yeah. To the moon, essentially, was that. I'm going to punch you to the moon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ah, the good old days.
I'm going to throw you down the stairs and beat you with a sack of oranges. To the moon.
They loved
but
it.
not before I strangle you and rub a hot iron across your face. Then I'm going to cover you in pork chop sauce and put you into a pit with rabid dogs.
Wow.
I'm going to cut you up so bad you'll never be able to have children.
Oh, my God.
Huh. I'll remove your breasts with a wood planer. To me, it was so depressing, too, because they had their clothing was in a bureau in the kitchen.
Well, they were poor. I mean, they were just making ends meet. But
I mean, there's
Desi Arnaz used to beat his wife too, because I remember she spent too much. She spent too much money on like hats or something like that. And there was an episode he bent her over his knee and spanked her.
Oh, and there was another episode one time, Casey. I kid you not. She had done something that was going to piss him off, so she decided to go and get a sunburn so that he wouldn't hit her. Jesus.
Oh my
That's
God.
what television programming was.
Lucy, I'm going to throw you down the elevator shaft. Lucy, I'm going to take your back, tie you to the dumpster, and drive the car into you. Ricky.
1950s programming,
Wow.
man.
I'm going to cut your head off.
That's ridiculous.
Columbia necktie. Break your legs.
See, the audience ate it up, though.
They loved it.
You know?
There was an episode of Different Strokes where Arnold got in trouble, and Mr. Drummond, because he wasn't his actual father...
Put him in a wood chipper?
No. They brought his uncle in to beat him with a belt. I'm not lying. That's... that was a legit episode.
Storyline.
Yeah. Here, get the switch over here. Get your uncle.
I can't beat you. But fortunately, we found someone who can.
Got a
Do you
blood
remember
relative.
in the Dick Van Dyke Show when Dick Van Dyke slammed Mary Tyler Moore's head in the car door?
Oh, yeah.
Because the mashed potatoes were lumpy?
The audience loved it.
They were lumpy?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to make your head lumpy.
Brought to you by Patient First Cold and flu season is here.
I've got a clode.
You do have a clode. Patient First is here to help. Hey, Harry. I can't speak
what's
to
You
that.
were traveling all day yesterday.
I was.
What's Harry, though?
I was going to say they handle everything.
They
And
Harry your clothes.
And I put handle and every and made it Harry.
At these times, you need someone who cares about your clothes and harries it correctly.
I'm sorry. and I snorted too.
A Middletown man pleaded guilty Monday in federal court to trafficking protected turtles. 62-year-old David Summers of Levittown struck a plea agreement with federal prosecutors and pleaded guilty to one felony count of violating the Lacey Act and agreed to forfeit nearly 3,500 diamondback terrapin hatchlings, according to the U.S. Attorney Office for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania. Prosecutors said Summers admitted that he falsely labeled the trafficked turtles taken from the New Jersey marsh habitat between August 2014 and October 2017. He acknowledged sending a package containing 11 of them to Canada and mislabeling the package as a book to underreport its value. Officials from the Environment and Climate Change Canada intercepted the package of turtles and alerted American authorities.
Today marks a major step forward in the
It's so
treatment and care
bizarre.
of turtles.
Do you know
Dude,
where
this guy was making a ton of money?
I had no idea they were worth that much.
He made $500,000 over 3 years.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to go
It's
ship
better
a
than
turtle.
cocaine.
Shipping turtles.
Shipping turtles.
All right, so wait,
Do you have my stuff?
what did he get pinched for? Lying about it or just
No, the
shipping it in general?
Yeah, the package. The Canadian government intercepted the package, and then they contacted the United States.
So, yes, some of these endangered exotic animals can draw incredible money.
All right, so I can't go do that as a cottage industry.
No.
As long as I ship it and package it correctly.
No, you can't.
It doesn't matter. It's just
It doesn't
straight up
matter.
illegal. Okay.
Yes. Summer's sentencing will take place on May 15th. The 62-year-old could be sentenced to as many as 5 years behind bars, 3 years of supervised release, a $250,000 fine, and restitution to New Jersey for the value of the turtles.
Imagine you end up in a cell and the guy with you's a triple homicide. What are you in for?
Turtles.
Turtles. I don't know where he's picking these things up at, but there is
Turtle City.
When
New
you're going,
Jersey.
all right. So, but when you're going into Wildwood, right?
Yeah.
Like North Wildwood.
All right, thanks, Kat. There is a cool event that's coming up at Ardmore Music Hall this Sunday, and it's a twist on a gala, and we've got the man who's going to tell us all about it. He's one of the founding members of the Disco Biscuits and also Spaga. We're going to welcome Aron Magner to our
Thanks, guys.
program this morning. Our pleasure. How you doing, Aron?
I'm well, thank you.
Excellent, man. Thanks for coming in today.
Yeah.
So I had said it's kind of a twist on a gala. What is this event all? What entails all of this?
Less of a twist and more of a confluence between the two art forms of music, which is my responsibility, and food, which is the chef's responsibilities.
Yes.
And so it's kind of like exploring the similarities between those two things, and some of the unanswered questions like, why is it that chefs, pair music that go well with their food to have, people enjoy in the restaurants? And why do musicians, know about chefs and restaurants and different places to eat when we're on the road? So that's kind of what I wanted to explore more on a philosophical level. But really, at the end of the day, I like food.
Yeah.
I like music.
There you go.
That's
So,
it.
does this convergence allow the drummers to use pretzel sticks instead of drumsticks?
I was thinking about that at one point. Like the cutting board can have a microphone or something like that, and we could convert that into a drum beat.
Right.
For this, I was actually thinking about, having the musicians have some bites of food on stage so that we can collectively experience it together and play music accordingly. I was thinking about
Well,
that.
it's a good idea because obviously this is a foodie town and there are a number of foodie Preston does a bit every week. We do it on the show, The Connoisseur, that celebrates food. So, so your history and the Disco Biscuits, if we're going to incorporate food into here, was it a love of biscuits that prompted that, or was it just happenstance that created the name Disco Biscuits?
Our very first gig in 1995 at Smokey Joe's in West Philly, we needed a name, and it was a funny combination of words that we had heard.
Just plucked out of the ether.
Yeah. And that's what we put up on the chalkboard for our very first gig that day in 1995.
Is it true that you kind of broke up that very night as well?
That actually is true, and how do you know that?
I did a little research.
Amazing.
And it's kind of been what's weaved throughout your, I think any band goes through those phases, but to almost break up on night one is kind of an achievement.
I mean, it's an achievement to break up on night one and still have a career 3+ decades later.
Yeah. That's pretty wild.
All of the guys in the band from that night, or
3 of us actually. Yeah, we exchanged drummers in 2005. Our original drummer went to medical school and about to write his book From Clubs to Scrubs.
Wow.
No, I'm joking about that, but it would be a good book.
I love that.
And you're all Penn grads, or is that the deal?
We all met at Penn. I did not graduate. I actually dropped out of Penn in order to continue touring with a rock band, and here I am. Yeah,
wow,
that's cool.
Man.
That's cool.
Fantastic. Well, who all is going to be performing, and who's going to be serving at the event?
Yeah, man. So my side project called Spaga is a piano-forward trio. So we are going to be performing the music. As part of some conversation with the evening, we're going to have Eli Kolb, who has a Delicious City podcast, and he will be interviewing some of the chefs. He will be interviewing some musicians as well, and try and talk about these confluences that we potentially see.
And Marissa will be there, obviously.
And Marissa will be there, definitely. And, it's just going to be a good time enjoying some music, enjoying some food, enjoying our friends, talking about it, and seeing what kind of special, unique thing can happen with that evening.
It's chill, as they say, so a good time.
Have you done this before, the food and music thing together?
Yeah, actually. I've done 3 different of these types of experiences. I've called it in the past from fork to, oh God, I can't even remember it.
Spork.
Music to fork, something like that. And we did it at a barn down in North Delaware, basically. And at this barn, all the ingredients were grown on the farm, and the chefs would come in and they would use these ingredients, and we would bring a piano into this barn that was built in the 17th century. And we would, enjoy this meal together with all the ingredients grown on the farm, and we would play music as part of that experience.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's funny because Casey, we mentioned you were going to be in. I wasn't overly, I was familiar with the Disco Biscuits and the name and so on and so forth. Did a little bit of research and learned a little bit more. But in the jam band world, which is, are you comfortable being in that? Is that a good classification?
I mean, time is still telling whether that is a good classification or not. I think it definitely describes, our ethos or our philosophy of how to approach music, right? Which is, we have this, very improvisational philosophy, but our catalog within the Disco Biscuits is 200+ songs at this point.
200+ songs.
Yeah, and we're serious songwriters, and, we sing, but yes, these songs then go out into lots of different directions of improvisation and, to tell different stories, and we go from point A to point Z 3,000 different ways.
I like the idea that a song can be a living thing, and its life is different with every live show, and I love that philosophy. And so I was introduced to the Disco Biscuits probably back in 2001 when Fish had taken their first hiatus, and so I listened to whatever album Highwire was on, and then I actually saw you guys on an Easter Sunday at the Electric Factory, because that was like when Fish had left. I was like, kind of lost, because I
remember those fallow periods in your search. Yeah.
Well, because I wanted that live outlet, that live music outlet. It wasn't about, what I was listening to in my car or at home or whatever. It was about going and seeing it live and experiencing it live, and what you guys are able to do, connecting with your audience in that moment is just, it's special.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just that moment, it's the entire, community and culture that grows out of all those collective moments.
But what I love about it is, so you can call you a jam band, but like your sound is totally different. It's not like, you're you're not a recreation of anything. You guys are your own thing, and so is Goose, and so is
String Cheese,
the String Cheese incident, and all of them.
Well, we have a slight niche compared to other jam bands, right? And the context of jam bands is that we can exist in any genre or multiple genres at the same time. That's really it, right?
And that's job security too. You're malleable.
You think it has job security? Yeah, all of us musicians have all this amazing job security. It's incredible. You should come over and play some music and see.
Right.
No problem. Yeah.
Well, I still love getting turned on to new music, and Casey and I share songs that we love back and forth, and we'll text each other, or we'll talk about it, and I'll go to a Dave Matthews show and say, hey, these guys open up for them, and Casey will see Fish, or hear something from Goose, and I want to know, Aaron, like, what's the best way? Is word of mouth still the best way that people find out about Disco Biscuits? Is it online? Like, where do you guys get your fans?
Well, I mean, I think that word of mouth is always the most powerful way of telling anybody about music. I'm almost 50 years old, so I found out about all the bands that I loved when I was a teenager by word of mouth. And I think that there's a certain rite of passage that has to happen that way, where your older cousin gives you an album, and tells you this band is incredible. I love this band. And you love that band because your older cousin that you idolize.
Someone you trust is curating for you.
And I think that that's actually the most powerful way to do it. Now we have lots of different ways of trying to get people within our orbit, from social media to putting up everything on YouTube. We allow all of our shows to be our live shows you can access on nugs.net. So we have all ways of trying to get it out there. But I firmly believe the philosophy when we were kids and handing out flyers, come to our show, it's a little bit different now. It's social media posts that's kind of that flyer, but it's the same effect.
We had the director Jeff Tremaine from the Jackass crew. He's done this 3-part docu-series on Paramount Plus, which is of the hair metal bands, the 80s bands. And he brought up the point about the prior to the ability to go online and promote a band, it's easy to dismiss a lot of these bands, but they really had a game plan. Then a lot of them worked it, and there was a lot of self-promotion and stuff that's involved with it. And so that's a very organic thing. And you're saying, even with all this, it's still the most effective way, word of mouth, to get everything out there and get your audience growing.
I mean, I think it's, again, the philosophy of trying to think of promotion as a one-to-one promotion where, reaching that fan out there is the most important thing, as opposed to trying to reach 100,000 fans at the same time, or making somebody feel like it was really you that you were trying to direct your attention to.
Right.
And we do, we respond to posts online, and we integrate with that, and we try and bring in our community of, rabid and loyal fans, and keep them rabid and loyal, and keep them being the ones that will stand on their soapboxes and tell other fans. And that's really how we garner fans as well. Yeah.
Preston will spend a lot of time, and you talk about it, Preston, you go down and playing the drums, and you get that Zen state. You've talked about you with the keyboards and how it...
Flow state,
Yeah. And how important is that to you? Is it a daily thing? Is it your contemplative time? How much does it figure into who you are?
That's exactly what it is. It's my meditation.
Yeah.
And so I actually learned that during the pandemic, which is when I started getting back into my original instrument, which is piano. In the Disco Biscuits, I play lots of synthesizers, and it's awesome, but I can hide behind that. On piano, it's literally just me, and I feel somewhat naked because I don't have all these amazing things that I can hide behind. But it is a revelation. It's a reveal of who I am.
Right.
And so when I go into that and close my eyes and just sit down, don't know what I'm going to play, and find myself 45 minutes later in a different place, that's my catharsis. Sure.
Do you ever see the movie Pixar movie Soul?
Yes.
And when he goes off into this place,
100%
mentally, I'm like, I know exactly what that's like.
Yeah.
You just kind of let it happen. And I thought they illustrated it really well in that movie.
100%.
Yeah.
And that flow state, I mean, it's not just artists that get into flow state, right?
Sure.
Athletes and, anybody can get into flow state. It's really when you're like concentrating and everything else just shuts off, and all of a sudden it starts literally flowing.
It's Pornhub for me. Yeah. This is how I tap into that.
Do that in different ways.
Yeah.
We all have our own ways.
That's my instrument.
Yeah.
Steve,
what are you doing?
Practice.
Just working on that.
I'm fingering.
Aron, for A Feast for the Senses, which is the name of the event, Ardmore Music Hall. It's coming up on this Sunday. What about tickets? All the particulars that people need to know.
Yeah, man. So if you go to ardmoremusichall.com, you can get tickets there for Feast for the Senses.
There's a promo code set up for MMR listeners, right?
We actually set up a promo just today. Yeah, WMMR at checkout in the promo code will give you $93.30 off each ticket price.
Not too shabby.
Of each ticket price?
Off of each ticket price. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
You know,
It ain't too shabby.
Yeah. I love that.
Imagine if we had a higher frequency.
But get these tickets now. Are you who all's going to be? Did I already ask who all's going to be performing as well? The band wise, is it Spaga or
it's just Spaga? So
Okay,
it's a trio, and it is me and a bass player, Jason Fraticelli, who's an incredible Philadelphia phenom. And the whole thing is that this project is very Philadelphia centric.
Cool.
The album was recorded here. It was all local. It kind of has some ties with in the same way that we have like local farm to table stuff. Like this album was a farm to table album.
Okay.
Matt Scarano on drums, again, another local Philadelphia phenom. And, the first song off the album is called Creed. We're very, Philadelphia centric.
Can't get more than that.
Well, I mean,
Rocky, maybe.
we're proud to be Philly, and I think that if you think, if you think locally and act globally, that's kind of like what we're trying to do here.
Love it. Marissa?
Yeah, I just, some breaking news. Eli Colt, my podcast co-host, just asked me to hop on stage with him. So I will be hosting part of the event with him on Sunday.
Show is moving along as we speak.
And one thing we haven't mentioned are two of the chefs that are cooking. Randy Rucker of River Twice and his new restaurant, Little Water, that's opening soon. And Eli Collins of A Kitchen. Like two of the best restaurants in Philadelphia are coming to Ardmore.
Yeah.
So they'll be cooking right there for you. And with this promo code WMR, you save some money
Save
on
a
tickets.
chunk of cash.
It's all for charity, and it's a great thing. And I mean, the food that these guys make, it's that kind of food where you take the first bite and you just close your eyes and you go, oh, damn, that was good.
All right.
So it's going to be a fun experience.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, Aron. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we'll post about this on PrestonandSteve.com. Tickets available at heritageradionetwork.org/feast. And that is coming this Sunday, A Feast for the Senses. So music, food, all in one big ball of love.
Sounds great.
Excellent. Thanks for being here, Aron.
Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. Let's hear it for Aron, guys. Aron Magner. We're going to carry on with a couple of other things, but Disco Biscuits music playing in the background here as we make our way out of that segment. I did a couple of emails I wanted to pass along, some information and some plugs and charts and things like that.
This kind of thing?
And things like this and so on.
This kind of...
No, I wanted to give this mention to diehard Preston and Steve fan Mel. We love her to death. Her BTS club night party is coming up, Steve.
That's right. Isn't this going to be collecting stuff for Camp Out for Hunger?
Camp Out for Hunger.
She's the best.
And it's not going to conflict with a Feast of Senses because it's the night before. It's going to be on the 28th at the Commodore Barry Arts and Cultural Center, 7 to 11. So this is for BTS fans.
Yes.
And K-pop fans in general, I guess.
Not sheepishly. I proudly admit I am a BTS fan.
I didn't know that there was a BTS documentary. When I went and saw Transformers 1 last week, there were girls there that were going for that documentary. And I was like, okay, I had no clue.
Nice. So I wanted to make sure that we plugged that a little while back, but it's coming up.
She's terrific.
And I don't know if it's sold out, or I don't even know how you can get tickets. But just
We've
happy
done our part.
knowing that it's there.
Just ask somebody on the
I think we had it posted a while back on PrestonandSteve.com. Then this other one I wanted to mention, this was a plug. This is from Donna Peabody, who reached out to me, and she said, my family organizes events to donate a scholarship in someone's name for their graduation year, which is this year. My son, who was 15, and this is horrible, was stabbed to death on his way home from a friend's, April 21st, 2023. The killer has been caught, but not on trial yet. And if you could put our event out there, it would help, or even maybe donate some MMR stuff. She says I was a Vag winner years back. Donna was. So terrible to hear about that, obviously, Donna, but you guys are doing some really great things. They have a Dream Beyond the Bench cornhole tournament, which is coming up Saturday, October 19th at Glenwood Park, and I wanted to make sure that was mentioned. And she sent me an info, a sheet. I don't know if I sent it to you.
I don't think so.
I'll get it over to you. There's a QR code and everything on here, so I'll give you this story.
Okay. And while we're doing these, Preston, I just got an email from Tony Perrone, who basically runs everything in our office now, including the mailroom and everything in between. So Tony has some guys who are working on the deck of her house right now. They're huge fans of the show. They're listening. And the guy's name is Keith. So Keith and everybody that's working on Tony's deck.
Zapping them?
Shout, whatever. Yeah, zap, whatever you guys want to do.
Okay.
There we go.
Excellent. Here's a shout out. This is on the back end of the MMRBQ. Casey got this really nice note from this guy. He wrote a really, not overly lengthy, but a very full message about how wonderful it was to have a chance to meet us at the MMRBQ, and he was really nervous to come over and say hello and everything. And
so great to meet you guys.
It was a really, really nice email, and it is from Reese O'Neill. And he has requested a shout out for his beautiful, amazing, and extremely talented girlfriend, Lauren. And he said it would seal the deal on this summer. Thanks, Casey boy, and that's from Reese. So here's a shout out.
Put a little English on that one.
Yeah. And then why don't I give him just a little bit, because I remember having a conversation with him, and he loves Primus. So let's play a little bit of one known as Big Brown Beaver.
Sure, why not?
There you go, Reese.
Yep, absolutely. And then this is a shout out from this morning. I'm trying to get to these.
No, why not?
Shout outs, but I got this.
Excise them.
This is from Brian. Who he wanted to mention this. He and his dad, Tony Andrioli, played in a golf outing at the Pittman Golf Course, and they shot a 53, and I guess they ended up winning. They had these gold medals he sent me a picture of.
Wow.
He wanted a chart for him and his dad. He said that would be great. So here's a shout out. Congratulations to you guys. And then this other one says, longtime listener, big fan, and my sister Corinne and I have a contest going on who can be featured on the show more. My last call-in was talking about my drooling cat with Steve and Kathy.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I'm winning. She was a contract worker for Pico for 7 months, and she'd listen to the entertainment report on the way to work, and I'd listen to the Bizarre File, and then at night we would tell each other what we heard. Her contract ended, and after 2 months, Monday, September 23rd, is her first day as an official Pico worker.
Wow.
And I'm so proud of her. And if y'all could give her a juicy good luck shout out, that would be great and much appreciated. And she writes, P.S. Pretty sure this counts for me being featured and not her, but I'll let her take this point. Thanks, Preston. That's from Brittany Bors. So here you go. That is for Brittany's sister, Corinne. And very cool. So
yes.
It was nice of her.
There were a number of people who talked. They're bringing up bits that we've done on the show, or things that little rituals they do surrounding the show. And it's surprising to hear how many people actually listen to the show in real time and then will listen to the podcast to get what they missed.
Wow, here's some other ones I've missed. Hang on a second here. Yeah, son of a bitch. Okay. All right, I got to do these. This is a good time to do these right now. Here's one from back on the 16th. Preston, requesting a huge birthday shout out for one of our fellow YouTubers. She recently got engaged, started a new job, and is now going to be a year older. Please, on or about the 16th.
Yes, nailed it.
Send Miss Jolie a very happy YouTube birthday shout out. So that is for her. And then I got this. Actually, I got a few of them for Jolie, so I'm glad we got those done. This one is great. It says, my original plan. By the way, Friday, September 20th, I'm turning 50, she wrote. And this is from Katie the Horse Lady.
Katie, she calls in all the time anytime we have any equine questions.
She said, my original plan was to request a shout out to myself for the occasion, but as I started writing it to you, it occurred to me that I'd rather send you all a big shout out for my birthday. Every morning I go to work, and me and the horses listen to your banter, your facts, your bizarre, your stupid games, and most importantly, your positive, realistic outlook on life. So many times you have let me call in with a silly horse fact, wacky story, even speaking gibberish with another listener. That's right.
I remember that when
she knew that language.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What was that? How did that go again?
Gotta gee, gotta go, gotta get, gotta gee. Yeah, that was it. Gotta go, gotta get. And you were kind of getting in the realm of being able to speak it, were you not? Or at least understand it.
No.
Okay.
Siggity, haggity. He said, it often makes my day. So for this, my friend, today, as I celebrate turning 50, I would like to honor you by sending you guys the juiciest horse shard.
All right.
All right.
And on this No Sad Bro Friday. So this is from last week. So thank you, Katie.
Dear God.
Katie the horse lady.
Have we ever done a horse chart before?
We just did.
I don't think so.
I know, before. I know we just did it. I was sitting here listening to the
Do
whole
we
thing.
have it? There you go. That's what we need.
All right.
The Winnie. No, I don't think we ever have.
Okay.
Had any horse chart. Let's see what else we have here. My daughter Ashley has been listening to you and Steve since she was old enough to drive. Anyway, she's turning 40 on the 21st, and I was hoping that somehow you might be able to celebrate her amazing self. And I can't tell you how special this girl is. A heart of gold. She's a busy mom, wife, daughter, and is loved by everyone that meets her. This is from Ann Trait, by the way. Ashley's mom. She says, is there any chance I could surprise her somehow? 9/21 falls on a Saturday, but you're not on. But how about on the 20th or any day that would suit you if possible? So here you go, Ann. That is for Ashley. And a horse chart for her,
There you go.
too. All right,
That's the second one.
I have two more, and then I'm all caught up.
Oh, man.
All right.
Total horse chart.
I wanted to send a chart.
You can say that.
I want to shout out to my husband, David Kettlewood, who turns 40 on the 21st.
Oh, I love David.
You know David?
Yeah, he's a great guy. He became a Pearl Jam fan because I was a Pearl Jam fan, and he listens to the show religiously. He's worked for the Kansas City Royals. He worked for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and now he goes to every Pearl Jam show. He's a great dude, and just could not be a nicer guy.
Sure. In 2007, the President Steve Show gained one of its most loyal followers when David was a college student in Arizona. He started listening to the podcast from a friend's recommendation. In 2018, we moved to Eastern PA. Had a job opportunity to come to the area, but I'd never been to Pennsylvania before. David loved the area surrounding Philadelphia so much that I went for it.
And then the Civil War broke out.
6 years later, this is definitely our home, and he loves the show so much that anytime he says the podcast, I know exactly which one he's
awesome.
talking about. He participates in events when he can, especially the Cardboard Classic and Camp Out for Hunger. Loves seeing Nick at Pearl Jam concerts. And Casey at various WMMR events. So here is a shout out. It's a 40th birthday. Happy horse shart. And then the last one, final one. Everybody got something going on the 21st. These were all while the MMRBQ was going on. Says, hey, Preston and everybody else.
Everybody.
Yeah, my brother is getting married on the 21st. If possible, would you do a shout out to him and my sister-in-law? Their names are Tom and Lisa from Mount Joy. She's been a tremendous influence, and he has been an amazing support for her. They're truly a team. I've never seen my brother so happy. I love how they are with and for each other. Can't wait to see them become husband and wife. I'm so very proud of them both, and that is from Jennifer Moore. So there's a shout out.
You cleaned them all out, man.
We're all caught up. Yeah, I still have some.
Now the onslaught will begin again.
I have some coming up in October, and those are dated, so I'll just set those aside, and we'll save those for another
cathartic,
time.
isn't it?
It is cathartic getting that done. I saw this story. I wanted to pass this along, and I meant to get to it last week, but we were too busy. Kathy, this is big news for American travelers with a U.S. passport. The State Department will allow for renewals online.
Passports?
Thanks to an update to the agency's previous pilot program. Because we were talking about how backed up they got a while back.
You're talking about the global entry?
No, this is just the passports.
Just passport.
Yeah.
Okay.
No mention of global entry in this, right?
No.
Okay.
That's another, those are a couple hoops.
Could you buy
gotta
a
jump through.
forged document if you wanted to?
Sure. Yeah, those are available.
Okay.
Yeah, the passports, people were like, having to go away and trying to renew their passport like a year in advance and not being able to get it. Like,
what you
it
could
got
do
crazy.
you could get a passport, which is not.
This is my passport.
So what's the process? Because mine, I think I had just expired this summer, and I wonder if I have to redo it entirely.
Yeah, since it's already expired.
Yeah.
That's a good question. The State Department announced that its online passport renewal program is now fully available to the public. Adults 25 or older who have had a U.S. passport before will no longer have to fill out or print a paper application, mail a check, or make an appointment.
I believe, in that case, mine had lapsed for just a little bit, and I think they set a date where if it had lapsed prior to that, you would have to go through a more elaborate process.
I have the info here.
Oh, okay.
It is for people who can renew their passport. They've had an adult passport that has expired within the last 5 years.
There you go.
All right, yeah.
Or will expire in the coming year.
Yeah, I think mine was like June or July.
Yeah. So all you have to do is create an account to start the application process on the State Department's website, enter your old passport information and upcoming travel plans, plus the ordeal of going somewhere to get the photo taken will be a thing of the past, as you can now do it from your cell phone,
All right,
too.
because that can be a huge pain in the ass because sometimes they don't accept the photo that you've taken.
Correct.
Okay.
Or one that you've drawn, I found out.
Yeah, I mean, like, it looks kind of like
Yeah,
me.
that's me.
The photo.
You're not a good artist.
The photo
says you.
Cannot be a selfie. Must be taken with a white background and needs to be recent.
Okay.
By the way,
So
when
those
I
are the qualifications.
and they're sticklers. When I went and took the picture, the woman, it was at a pharmacy, and she goes, "No, you were. I was too far away from the backdrop, and there was a shadow, and they're like, it has to be, just so."
So finally, those applying for online renewal can check out using a debit or credit card. The routine processing time for online renewal is 6 to 8 weeks, which only includes the time the application is at a passport agency or center and does not include mailing times as well.
So the last time you had your passport done, you go get your pictures taken. Where did you go to get the rectal exam?
The rectal exam?
Yeah.
That was, they allowed Rochelle to do it, fortunately.
That's great.
Yes.
So I was wondering about that, but I'm like, okay, I guess if it's for a passport, Jimmy's in the back room.
The digital renewal
digital.
system, which is digital,
there we go.
use your fingers.
Jimmy
was first.
I'm going to renew it right now.
Wait a minute, you smell something?
You're going to feel a little pinch.
The digital.
No, I don't think I will.
The digital renewal system
I just renewed your passport.
was first introduced in 2021.
What the hell is that?
Introduced in 2021 through an executive order from President Joe Biden, but later halted applications indefinitely in 2023 due to the backlog of delays and renewals.
Scent of a rectum.
Scent of a rectum.
I'm not finished. Yeah, as Kathy was pointing out, there were people who were literally missing the trips that they needed to take because they could not get their passports.
Yeah.
And I when I got mine for our vacation, a little while ago, we put the big acceleration on it. We got it in a pretty good time. But can't guarantee it.
Do any of you guys have or use the real IDs?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I have one.
And where is that? Where do you use that?
I haven't had to yet.
Okay.
I mean, I forgot what year it was that they're going to make that a requirement.
Because they extended,
keep bumping it.
Yeah, and
they
I think
extended it because of COVID, but it is coming. It is coming up because if you go to renew your license, Nick,
The signs are up?
that's how. Well, I got prompted, so I got prompted to get that, and you have to go through some extra steps, but it was fairly easy.
because I did not have my passport because it expired this summer when I did some traveling, but I stayed within the United States. And Kathy, every time I tried to I was a little nervous. They were like, "No, your license is fine. It's just a standard
it's
PA
still
license."
good.
Yeah.
You can use your passport even if you don't have the real ID.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have your passport, that
Right.
works as a substitute, but Nix's.
Or a passport.
He didn't have any option. Or a passport. But yeah, I did that. No, I've had the real ID for a few years now. I got it as soon as they came out. I had hit my renewal was coming up, so I went ahead and did that, and it was pretty simple.
Do you know what they won't accept? I tried to get through with the real IUD, which I had.
They won't accept it.
They would not accept that.
Fake ones. Wow.
So this says once May 7th, 2025 rolls around, Real ID compliance licenses, identification cards, or other federally accepted forms of identification will be required to board domestic commercial flights.
Okay.
So May 7th, 2025.
So if I don't have that, but I do have a passport, that's what I can
I
do.
think you're still okay with passports. You just can't
yeah.
use that regular license to board flights.
And that's Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Because I thought these were state by state.
yeah,
the real
this is-
IDs?
Yeah, this was according to PennDOT.
Okay. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting.
That was very
that
interesting.
You can renew that without having to go to the agency and do all those things.
Real quick, did you say what the website was for doing this? Or is it?
I did.
Xhamster.com.
No, that's not it.
There's a passport
The State
section.
Department's website.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how you do it. Yeah, the State Department.
my passport, please.
All right, so listen, we need to take a break because we have Good Money It coming up.
Yes, we do.
And 10 o'clock is your next chance, and that is rapidly approaching. Before we do that, I just want to remind you, Kathy revealed her fall activities list for 2024, and all of that is available at PrestonandSteve.com.
And I just want to make a correction because when I was reading it, I kind of stopped because I did think it was wrong. The coupon code for the board housewife, if you want to do the Halloween charcuterie board, the coupon code is Kathy's List with an S, and we're going to fix it on the website as well, so you have the correct coupon code.
All right, thank you. We're going to break. We'll come back in a second. Bizarre file stories and the aforementioned $1,000 opportunity with Good Money It. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
Preston
ride my bike there all the time. They have all these turtle crossing signs, which is great.
Yes.
But there's a huge wall barrier that is in the middle of the road. And I'm like,
how do they clear that?
They don't.
Yeah,
they don't. Like, so if you clearly know that turtles are crossing here, why did you put up a wall for them to just get smashed by cars?
There's no opening in the wall?
None.
There's no sign, turtles go through here?
No, and I don't think they can read either.
That's
Case, so these turtles are protected under New Jersey law and by an international treaty. They are not found in the wild in Pennsylvania, but where Summers resided, but they have a dwindling habitat range in neighboring New Jersey. So there are some in New Jersey, but it's completely legal. And this guy apparently he worked for numerous Republican candidates in Bucks County in recent years and was previously a reporter. He previously covered news for the Trentonian, Bucks County Courier-Times, and the News Network, and also wrote for LevittownNow.com between 2013 and 2014.
Not another turtle story, please.
Seriously.
I like turtles. Love them. That's that little kid grew up to be.
That's him.
Oh my God, it's him.
I love turtles. All that comes across my desk are goddamn turtle stories.
I'm telling you for years.
Couldn't you see the signs?
You interviewed me when I was a kid.
It was a cry for help. I was dressed as a zombie, and I said I love turtles. Why was no one listening?
Looking good. Jonathan just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think?
I like turtles.
All right. You're a great zombie. And
Oh my God. It's him. It's him later on in life. I love it.
It never stops.
But because my sons have been to dances, but without a date, and it's not odd. Like when I was in middle school, if you went by yourself, unless it was a dance where it's known, everybody just show up and we'll be at the school and we're having a party.
Right.
But for the most part, everybody went with a date.
Yeah, and you got, I mean, at least for me, you would get asked to go to the dance.
Your teacher would pick you up.
Stop it!
You ready to go, baby? Hey, look, I put some Tinker toys in the back. Keep you occupied.
Let's go to Maureen. Hello, Maureen.
Our last song at our 8th grade dances was always Nights in White Satin.
Nights in White Satin? Yeah, a bunch of eight.
Yeah,
how old are you?
Breathe deep the gathering gloom.
Right.
Watch lights fade from every room.
Maureen, what did you do in the poetic portion of that song?
Bathroom break.
Sway back and forth.
They'd start crying.
Maureen, did you kiss anybody that night?
That's so long ago, I don't even remember.
All right. Well, thanks for your call.
That means
we
no.
appreciate it.
We did like the, the butt hold.
Oh my God!
The butt hold. Like if you were dating.
What did you do?
You said the butthole.
Butt hold.
Oh my God!
We would do the butthole. Do the butthole.
Everybody, now it's time to do the stuff with your butts.
You guys.
We're talking about backside stuff.
Casey nearly spit out all this.
I don't understand why you
In the
jumped up.
punch bowls, we have a whole bunch of lubricant. This should make it easier.
Kathy?
Do we have the hustle anywhere?
Yes.
Do the butthole.
Hold. I said hold.
Not what it sounded like.
Butt hold.
One more butt.
You guys were advanced.
We did.
Butts in White Satin.
Do the butthole.
Oh my
The
God.
youngsters are really enjoying their buttholes.
Do the butthole. Do the butthole. Okay, so you do the butthole.
I mean, never mind at this point.
Oh.
No, yes, if you were dating the guy you were dancing with, the guy would put his hands
to do the bunghole now.
to the butthole.
And who's up for some old-fashioned finger blasting?
So wait a minute. Explain to me what the butthole is.
It's your
Yes,
Hang on,
the
I wanna
hands
hear
would
her.
be, instead of on the waist, they would just slide down a little bit and hold the girl's butt.
Grab the butt. Okay.
Were you constantly under the watchful eye of a proctor or somebody who was?
There was always teachers there, but I don't think it was as strict.
They couldn't see everything.
I don't- It wasn't as strict as the nuns watching at those dances. No,
why-
seriously.
But that's why the St. Kevin's dances were so great, because they were so crowded that, like, all right, you can't.
I'm too tired to worry about your butthole.
The butthole.
You said the butthole. Somebody had sent me a listing for a home that's on sale in Maple Glen.
All the realtors are posting it on
Oh,
there.
they are?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 48 photos, and if you get to photo 31, you have to stop and go, wait a minute.
What is that?
What is that? So it's a beautiful home, by the way.
Beautiful.
And for
the style?
a decent price, too. It's 5,000 square feet.
Yeah.
And it's gorgeously laid out. It's $750,000 for a home that looks like this. That seems like a pretty good price to me.
It actually does seem like a really good price.
Yeah.
But when you get to photo number 31, you realize that they have a bit of an S&M dungeon in their house.
But it's in like a beautifully it's almost like an executive dungeon.
But I mean, it's decorated that way. Like it's not just little things maybe in a box somewhere. No. They had things built in their basement.
Yes, and in fact, if you look at the bed, there are stocks.
Yes.
Like you would see when they would be punishing someone in the square where they have your head and your arms up in the stocks.
If you were a witch.
Yeah, exactly. And the bed has what appears to be, you can turn it into a cage if you want to.
It has bars.
There's also some sort of a rack in another picture that has all kinds of chains and leather and swinging things.
And is there
Wait a minute. You know what? Do we even know intern Mars's address? Is this her home possibly?
Is the Star of David? Is that a?
I don't know what that is.
That might be.
No, it's just a regular star.
It's wooden. Maybe those are little links on there that you can chain someone up to.
But when you see the picture of the front of the house, it's a beautiful brick house with a pretty red door.
Suburbia galore.
And then you get inside.
But even the chambers, it's like nice. It doesn't seem like a dungeon.
It's it's brightly
bright,
painted.
yeah.
It's well lit. It's very cozy. There's it looks like recessed lighting.
Listen, I'm sure they took out the clutter for the pictures.
Well, it's called 50 Shades of, right? Isn't it 50 Shades of Maple Glen?
Maple Glen, yeah.
Yeah.
Real estate agents.
Oh my God.
You know they've seen a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
Would I want that?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Why not?
Well, I'm just saying because
what are you going to get? They knock a couple grand off and take the S&M stuff out. Nah, play around with it. You never know. It might open up a whole world that you never knew even existed to you.
Yeah, I'm just
This
thinking.
is Rochelle. We're going to have the PTA meeting over here tonight. Bring your bull whips and butt plugs.
Have we talked about period parties before?
We have a while ago.
Okay.
Bert Kreischer.
Yes,
Really?
he brought them up.
Bert Kreischer had one for his daughter.
Oh, okay.
Which was awkward.
But they're like really they're ascending now in popularity.
Well, so much so that they're starting to take off in the UK. So the British mothers are starting to throw period parties for their daughters when they first menstruate.
Yeah, remember there was like an old commercial where it was when the girl got her period for the first time. It was like, let's go for ice cream. I forget what the commercial was, but it was like, let's celebrate. This was like when I was.
Why didn't you run alongside the car?
I remember thinking, this is the worst day of my life.
When that happened?
Yeah, like
really?
I mean, you know what? Because I was a little bit older, so I understood it. I knew what was going on. I knew what the other kids were going through, and I was like, you know what? Like, if it doesn't have to happen, like I can wait.
You know how a good first one? Carrie. You remember that?
Yeah, of course.
She had. I think the whole idea. I think actually is a good one. If for something that could be traumatic, that you could turn it into a. Like a plus? I mean, I
think it's cool.
Right?
I mean, listen, if you
or not a plus, but something that is something to be okay.
You can now bear children.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not that you want to.
Yeah.
It's 12 or 13 years old or
Hey,
however
Daddy,
it is, but no. But as in the in Game of Thrones, they call it your moon blood.
Your moon blood.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, but honestly, it is in one fell swoop, boom. You're a woman now.
Yeah.
You know?
Whammo.
And so there is no equivalent for boys. You know what I mean? It's not like we go to sleep one night and then we wake up and boom, we have pubes.
Yeah.
You know, like
it's a pube party.
it's
a boner party.
Boner party.
But you're getting babies. I mean, it's the truth. It's a biological thing. And it happens.
What did you just say?
I said I had, like, as if I'm the only guy here. No, we all got boners when we were
You can have boners in the womb.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You
can. Fetuses have boners.
Yes, there's proof. What? Picture proof.
Let's continue talking about hygiene.
Please.
But
we all need it.
In a different orifice, we'll talk about your mouth.
Oh, I thought you were going just on flipping us over.
Oh, the butt. Yeah. No, we're not going to talk about
We'll go from butt to mouth.
We could. I mean, I'm sure we could find something.
I like that sense that the mouth, that the toothpaste and everything's been rinsed out and washed out and whatever I've dislodged
punched is out.
I haven't gone to the dentist in over a year. I knew you were going to find that repulsive, Kathy.
Oh,
I had
probably so gross.
I had an appointment, and then something came up.
Something suddenly came up.
And then I had to cancel the appointment, and I never rescheduled it, and I just got lazy.
And it usually they have a long wait usually.
And I don't like going to the dentist.
Even
And I
just
like
for a
my
clean?
dentist a lot. He's a really nice guy. What's that?
Even just for a cleaning?
No, because it's never just a cleaning. It's always, oh, what's this? Or, let me pick at that for a minute. Or here, we need to take some more pictures. Shove these uncomfortable things in your mouth and bite down for a little while.
Here, put these wax lips in.
I hate that. I hate that. I hate the x-rays. Ugh.
I love going because I don't have a lot of but I don't have
because
Kathy,
they make
when she
compliments.
smiles.
She likes to go
Everyone,
anywhere.
come in here quickly. Look at these beautiful teeth. It's not enough that she has a perfect vagina.
No, I like the feeling that my teeth are that clean, as you can imagine.
No kidding. You have beautiful teeth.
Hey, Kathy has the perfect mouth, the perfect vagina. Do we assume that the other one is perfect too?
I can only assume her proctologist is doing backflips.
Yeah, has anybody ever commented on your butthole? They've commented on every other orifice.
Oh my
in the body.
God!
Look at this thing. It's unbelievable.
I like how you
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Thanks, Kathy. We're about 7 minutes away from $1,000. So before then,
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
all right, B-File this morning brought to you by Pro Team Collision. If you find yourself in an accident, trust the pros at Pro Team Collision, your trusted auto body repair shop located in King of Prussia. Go to proteamcollision.com. The story is out of Utah. A man who allegedly filed a motion to have the judge in his criminal case removed because of treason and also suggested the judge should be hanged is now facing a new criminal charge.
I bet the judge didn't like that.
Elijah Madden was charged with threatening a judge, a third-degree felony. Madden was charged in November of 2023 with being a restricted person in possession of a firearm and child endangerment, third-degree felonies. While representing himself in that case,
don't worry, I got this.
Madden filed a motion for removal of judge for reason of treason.
I think you should be thrown off the case, and I think you should be hung. How am I doing?
Part of Madden's motion states, if the judge in his case commits felony treason by failing to protect the U.S. Constitution, then he will, and I quote, be taken by posse to the nearest busy intersection and hung at high noon, hung by the neck until dead, the body to remain in state till dusk, as an example to anyone who takes his oath of office lightly.
I see.
You don't say.
That's an interesting take on this case.
After that threat was allegedly made, another judge ruled on the motion and found no valid grounds on which to disqualify the
Let's
judge.
punch him in the face.
In the case, in fact, he wrote a judge attempting to provide legal counsel to Madden, placing Madden on mute during a hearing, or indicating that the judge has read the documents in the case docket are not behaviors that warrant disqualification. So he got himself another charge.
You're in that helicopter.
Friday the 13th was particularly unlucky for a parent in Manhattan Beach, California. And Nick, I want you to pay attention to this because I know your aunt has a property in Manhattan Beach. According to police, the parent reported parking in front of the American Martyrs School Gym at about 7 p.m. and walking their child into the gym. When the parent returned to their car, they discovered a rear passenger window was smashed and a cardboard box left in the car was stolen. The cardboard box contained $1 million in cash in it.
What?
Andy Abreu, the officer in charge, said officers and the victim discovered a GPS affixed to the vehicle. He added that the victim did not put the tracking device on the car.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody knew something. He said, I know it's a large amount of money and it's unusual, but I can't give out any more details. We are trying to protect the victim and work the case. And that's all that I saw in this
Do you think it would have been safer to put it on the front seat?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe $1 million.
Or a child safety seat.
And a cardboard box, and they had it in their vehicle. That's crazy.
Well, they put it in a box.
Wow. All right. The mother of a Georgia teenager, this is a follow-up story, charged with fatally shooting 4 people at his high school. You guys know the story.
Saw the story. Horrible.
Well, she has been indicted in connection with an alleged domestic incident last year. This is the mother of the kid. The indictment handed down on Monday charges Marcy Gray with exploiting an elderly person and other crimes. Gray is the mother of 14-year-old Colt Gray, who was charged with murder after surrendering to police at the high school September 4th. Authorities say the boy brought an assault-style rifle to school in his backpack, opened fire during morning classes, killing 2 students and 2 teachers and injuring 9 others. Well, the indictment charging Marcy Gray stems from domestic incident late last year. It has nothing to do with her son. Gray's 74-year-old mother told authorities November 4th that Gray had taken her phone, taped her to a chair, and left her for nearly a full day.
Yeah.
The report says that Gray bound her mother before traveling to Barrow County to confront her ex-husband, who lived with their son and 2 other children. Gray was arrested. 2 days later, her mother was found and sentenced to 45 days in jail after pleading guilty to charges of criminal trespassing, using a license plate to disguise her car, and causing property damage.
So you're painting the picture of a very stable home life here.
Such a lovely family. The teenager's father, Colin Gray, has also been charged with involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children. Authorities say he gave his son access to the rifle that was used in the shooting. So that just continues to bring out more horrible stuff. All right, so a former Marion County Sheriff's deputy. There were a lot of terrible stories this week, and I just am going to tell you ahead of time.
You can gussy it up.
So this former sheriff's deputy was arrested Thursday under suspicion of manslaughter after his girlfriend was shot in the head and killed. So officers responded to a home shortly before 11 p.m. A man identified as Leslie Boileau, from former Marion County Sheriff's deputy, told 911 dispatchers that he had accidentally shot his girlfriend while the 2 were cleaning firearms. Boileau told officers that he and his girlfriend went to dinner earlier Thursday night. They had 3 margaritas each.
Yes.
When the 2 returned home, he noticed a package of gun cleaning supplies that he ordered online had arrived.
Oh, it's gun cleaning time.
He said his girlfriend inquired about how to clean a firearm, and he began teaching and showing her how to disassemble and clean an AR-style rifle and a 9mm handgun. He admitted the 2 were pointing the guns at each other, which he knows was bad. It was a wrong idea, a bad idea. He said that he allowed his girlfriend to dry fire the 9mm handgun. Boileau stated that he grabbed the rifle and dry fired it one time. On the second dry fire attempt, he had forgotten he placed the loaded magazine into the rifle, which shot 1 live round and hit her in the head and killed her. So they were pointing these at each other and dry firing them.
And they were drunk.
That's insane. He said, he told the officers on the scene, "I know this looks really bad. I told her I did not want this to happen." During a second interview, he told detectives that he and his girlfriend had previously done similar training, but described his actions Thursday night as, quote, sloppy. He was immediately terminated, and he's facing these manslaughter charges. All right, we need a lighter story to end with, and the next few ones are definitely not light. Let me see what I can dig into.
Screwed.
Okay, all right, this is one that I definitely, that one's a little messed up.
Go ahead, I'll take a swing at
hang on a second. Yeah, all right, how about this one?
Yeah.
And there are very little details in this. I only found half of the story, but this is in North Carolina.
I'll make it more pleasant as you go along.
This isn't disturbing.
Okay.
But a major highway reopened more than 12 hours after someone stole and crashed it says a Spectrum bucket truck. So Spectrum, I think, is a cable company. Police said it happened while a utility worker was up in the bucket repairing a line along the highway. Hey! Put the reverb on and yell down.
Hey! I'm in the bucket! I'm in the bucket! I'm in the bucket!
Investigators said,
I'm in the bucket!
Investigators said the suspect drove along south along Highway 18 before crashing.
Hey! I'm in the bucket!
When the truck was stolen, its boom was extended as the thief drove more than a half a mile down the road, striking utility lines.
Wow, that could have been really horrible.
Yeah, police said the Spectrum worker was attached to a safety harness. At some point, he came out of the bucket. You're out of the bucket. And was suspended in
I'm not out in the bucket!
not in the bucket!
Was suspended in the air by a safety strap attached to the bucket. The worker was able to cut the safety line, and he fell to the ground and hurt himself. He injured himself.
The vehicle was underway.
Yeah, so he was probably like 15, 20 feet in the air and fell. And I didn't get a follow-up to what his injuries were like. I missed that. And there you go. That's what I have in the bizarre file for you.
Gonna be a nightmare.
All right, 10 o'clock. 10:01, actually. Let's do this.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia. It's time for a Good Money It keyword.
That word is impact. IMPACT. And we're going to give you until 15 minutes after the hour to enter that. There are 3 ways for you to do it. Through WMMR.com, through the MMR app, or you can text it to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. One random entry will win $1,000 in our company-wide contest, and each winner gets a call from Beasley. So make sure you answer your phone. Contest rules available at WMMR.com. It is all sponsored by Horizon Services Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. So let me give you that word again. It's impact. IMPACT. Make sure you enter that now. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a second. Lesson question. And the trash is coming up too. And music news. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
Don't read my butt.
Did she?
Yeah. Are you sure this? My butthole, Preston? Is that what you're talking about? My perfect butthole?
We have to do something now.
Oh.
All right. It's a little thing that we put together that's going to involve you having to put on a blindfold because we have a mystery guest.
Mystery guest!
Okay.
I love mystery guests.
Perhaps the most mysterious mystery guest of ever.
Really?
Yes. We won't go any further than say that. You think he'll get it?
I think so, yeah.
All right. So we need you to put on your blindfold, please.
All right. Take those glasses off.
All right, hang on.
All righty.
Yay. So.
All right. So again, so one more time, repeat.
All right.
We're playing 100 questions.
215.
No, 20 questions.
215-263 WMMR, the number, by the way.
This is 20 questions for Preston, and it's questions 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 11 through 15, and 16 through 20.
All right.
And then not at all.
All right.
Is the person in the room now?
No. In fact, if we could bring our mystery guest into the room.
I am blindfolded. I can't see anything.
I always get nervous when we do mystery guest. I don't know why.
It's always hard to get somebody to agree to this.
Yeah.
Because, how are you, man?
Yeah, no, it is hard to get somebody to agree to do it, and then sometimes we'll eat up half the interview trying to figure out who the hell it is.
Right.
If they've only got like a 10-minute window. So,
all right, so
if this person is here, then they have more time than that, which is good.
They're here, and we will be able to spend some time after Preston, which is good news. Okay, so I'm going to use the high-pitch process to hide this voice, which I think we'll do a nice masking job. So we're going to begin, Preston. Again, yes or no. And you're going to have enough time to sort of narrow it down and ask our mystery guest your first question.
Okay. Have we ever met in person before?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Do you live in and around the Philadelphia area?
Yes.
Okay. Are you a public figure?
No.
No. Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, wait 1 second.
Wait, was that Steve?
That was Steve. With the processor obviously still on.
People.
Ask that question again.
Are you a public figure?
Yes.
Okay.
He's modest.
His answer might have thrown you, and
How many questions is that?
That's
modest.
3.
That's 3 questions.
All right.
So you're a man. Steve just said he, by the way, so I got that.
Oh, man.
Ooh, little one out of the way. Are you in... is your profession in journalism?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Do you appear regularly on television?
Yes.
All right, wait. That's 5 questions. Do you have a guest real quick?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Matt O'Donnell.
No.
Wow, okay. All right. Did I get the wrong network and piss somebody off?
No. You're good. We wouldn't do that to you.
All right.
Mike Monsel's on line 4.
Let me tell you, your mystery guest is very good-natured. He's smiling, so.
Okay. All right. So it's not Matt. It's someone I've met in person before. They're on TV. Journalism.
You can ask more questions.
I'm going to. I'm just trying to figure out where that might lead me in my next question. Would we consider ourselves, or do you consider me a friend of yours?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Are you from an island nation?
Yes.
It's Vi. It's okay, Emma, right?
Oh, really? God, you're getting there so close.
Oh man, who else? Who the hell else is from an island nation?
You can think broader. This person may be, I think, more famous than you're thinking.
Oh, wait a minute. Shane Victorino?
No. All right,
Good guess, though.
That's 6.
That's not a nation, but it's an island. You know,
So
and
now-
we have played golf together, so you know.
Question number 11, Preston.
Yeah, I'm.
Expand your search.
Yeah.
Wise.
Yeah. I'll, they live in and around the Philadelphia area. Entertainment-wise, journalism, television, island.
There are some people who do it all.
Who do it all?
No more.
Oh, okay. So, are you a musician?
Yes.
Oh. Wow. What's your name? No. You're a musician. Oh my God. I should know this, right? Okay. All right. Okay.
Everyone here is smiling because you know once you know you. Okay.
Yeah. Do we play your music on MMR?
Yes.
Wow. Do you play drums?
Yes.
Wow.
And we're friends. We're considered friends.
We're friends.
This person's gonna kill me. Are you black?
Yes.
And I still don't know who it is.
What a waste of a question.
Well, I'm trying to, More famous than I have been leading on to. We're considered friends.
I mean, if I were to liken this person, I'm just going to give you a little help.
Okay.
It's kind of like a Swiss Army knife of capabilities here.
This person's gonna kill me.
I thought you'd be better at this, Preston.
Dude, I suck at this. I'm good at getting answers.
All right, well,
Apparently, I'm good at getting yes answers.
You've got nothing
'cause I haven't
but
gotten
yeses.
any no answers yet.
Honestly, which should kind of lead you to, oh my God.
Oh, Steve.
What?
Some people texting in are starting to get it.
Okay.
Really?
All right.
Well, it's not Questlove because we're not friends.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Another guess? I mean, another
question. I got. Yeah, but what's going to help narrow it down? That's the thing that I'm trying to.
Maybe other
Trying to get to.
capabilities, other talents.
Okay. Yeah, but what? Do you like to eat?
Yes.
All right. Do you cook? I mean, like, would people know you for your cooking?
Yes.
Really? Jesus, none of this is helping me.
Why are you?
You don't know the
wasting-
cooking drummer?
I mean, honestly,
The
I
cooking journalist
thought
drummer.
by this time. I know. But keep going.
The island cooking journalist drummer.
How could you? I mean, come on.
Black
How can I
journalist drummer.
not? How can I not get it?
Yes.
You are on the film board. I'm going to help you with that.
Oh my God, you're right. Okay, I am on the film board. You're an actor as well? Are you an actor?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Philadelphia actor, black drummer.
You have 3 questions left, Russ.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll give you another hint. It's the person who texted in Black Tommy Lee. That's wrong.
It's not Black
Oh,
Tommy
that
Lee.
helps
Yeah.
a lot. Acting. Dude, I'm drawing a blank.
Are you giving up?
No.
Ask a few more.
Okay.
Maybe some projects or styles of acting roles, movies.
You guys are just trying to give this away, aren't you?
Well, I mean, I
not
know
helping me.
he's dying because I know Preston knows it, but he just go ahead.
Acting roles. Do you do? Are you mainly known for comedy acting?
Yes.
Really? It didn't help.
Dude, we didn't even use a voice processor there. Did that give it away?
Tried to help him,
Did you hear the voice?
He's gonna know.
It didn't give it away. No, it didn't give it away.
Oh, man.
Don't use the voice processor. Do you have a new movie coming out soon?
Yes.
Last question, Preston.
Oh man, you got it.
Man, I don't know.
Come on, Preston.
This is terrible. Is everybody getting it right on the text?
Yeah.
Little Blink 182 always does you good. 93.3 WMMR. It's 12 minutes after 10 o'clock. It's a Monday morning at the Preston and Steve Show. Word of the Week prize. We've got to set up an adventure aquarium for their fantastic Pumpkin Glow event that's on the way. So letter at the end of the show. And add them up and make a word by the end of the week. We're going to do a different type of giveaway now as opposed to that one. We have a lesson question. We're going to give away a pair of tickets to see the Deftones with the Mars Volta Friday, April 4th at the Wells Fargo Center. Tickets for that show are on sale now, but you can win them if you can tell me this. What is the lesser alternative to Passport? What is the lesser alternative to Passport? I heard it earlier this morning, 215-263-WMMR. Might work, might not. Try it out for yourself.
Worth a shot.
Yeah. So what is the alternative to a passport? And we'll do the trash while you are calling in.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, we'll get some stories from Steve, and then we'll see if we can get an answer. What's up this morning, Steve?
Well, this is wild. Sources claiming that Dave Grohl had been carrying on a decade-long affair with the mother of his love child and even did couples therapy with this woman. Apparently, the two would often bicker over Grohl having a wife and family.
Hey!
Apple TV Plus will reportedly be chronicling the Gallagher brothers on a string of Oasis concerts next month. Apple will then reportedly sell that footage to Dateline when they investigate the murder of Noel Gallagher.
Oh, my God.
And finally, marking the 40th anniversary of Who's the Boss, actress Alyssa Milano recalls that her developing in real life led to a fan-favorite episode titled Sam's First Bra. Milano says the writers keyed on another real-life milestone with Tony Danza for the episode titled Tony's First Polysyllabic Word. And that's your Hollywood trash.
All righty, we will see if you know the answer to this. What is the lesser alternative to Passport? We are going to go to Aron to get the answer. Hey, Aron, good morning.
Yo, what's up?
All right, Aron, what's the lesser alternative to the Passport?
I would have to say the passport.
Passport, yes. You got it, buddy. Hang on, Aron.
Happy as a bear can be. I'm a big chubby bear with a furry little tail.
What are we doing?
I'm so proud to be me.
What are we doing?
We're like a pretty red fox.
I can't believe we're playing this right now. I was going to introduce this to you guys at a later date, but we're playing it now. It's a song that I discovered over the weekend, and it really makes me laugh.
I'm a big chubby bear with a furry little tail. Happy as a bear can be. I'm a big chubby bear with a furry little tail. I'm so proud to be me.
What the hell is it?
If I were like a little blue bird, my tail would be made of feathers. But a feather tail bear would look about as funny as a fish wearing a sweater.
Oh, my God.
I'm a big chubby bear with a furry little tail. Happy as a bear can be. I'm a big chubby bear with a furry little tail.
Where did you find this?
I'm so proud to be me.
Our friend Lauren Harris had a bear in her backyard. Lauren moved, she was in the calendar many, many times, and she moved to Seattle not that long ago. And so she posted a video from like a Ring Cam or whatever in her backyard of the bear going through the garbage cans and going through the driveway. And she used that song in her story on Instagram. And so I got home from the MMRBQ on Saturday night, and I saw that, and I heard that song, and I just started laughing really, really hard. And then I listened to the whole damn thing, and it cracked me up. So I sent it to Casey, and then I downloaded it today and put it in the system so that we could play it at some point. And here we are playing it.
Come up.
Our winning music.
It's officially listed as being off the soundtrack of Amistad.
Oh,
yeah.
did not know that.
It's called I'm a Big Chubby Bear with a Furry Little Tail, and it's by Brent Holmes.
And Bernie the Bear.
Yeah.
And it's bear tunes for kids.
I love it.
We got to get that out.
Okay. All right.
Furry bear.
So Aron is going to get tickets as a winner to see the Deftones and the Mars Volta Friday, April 4th at the Wells Fargo Center. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster. I guess she was on Instagram and wanted to add music and just typed in Bear.
Right.
And that came up.
And that song came up and really made me laugh hard.
I love it. All right, music news. Here we go.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
I'm a big chubby bear with a furry little tail.
Okay.
I'm going to be singing it all day.
Brought to you this morning by Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Kicks off your game days as Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. And what? Not as. All right, at Live
furry bear with
Casino and Hotel Philadelphia, just steps from Philly sports excitement. Game days start here, so visit livecasinophilly.com for details. The fight that led to an early end for Jane's Addiction concert, which led to the rest of the tour being canceled, has now resulted in Perry Farrell getting some help. His wife, Eddie Lau, shared an update on social media Saturday saying that the singer has made appointments with an ear, nose, and throat specialist called an otolaryngologist.
Wait, is it the
Otolaryngologist?
Frank Langella.
And a neurologist as well.
There's a lot of gist there.
Lau went on to, in her post, to thank the fans and say that he'd be back to making music as soon as possible.
So his complaint was that he was having issues projecting out over the music. He was having vocal issues. So maybe this helps. I also think some aggression issues were probably in play as well.
Maybe so, yeah. Get ready for Asking Alexandria's hit album again, but different. October 18th, we'll see the release of Where Do We Go From Here, the remixes, featuring remixed versions of the top tracks from their 2023 album, including the first two singles released, Let's Go and Bad Blood. The band's 8th album included the band's second number one hit,
Big Furry Bear?
Psycho, and
I'm a big chubby bear with a furry little tail.
And currently has over 43 million streams. While Psycho isn't on the new EP, it features a total of 7 remixes from various talents. The EP is produced and mixed by Matt Good, who worked on records for Hollywood Undead and From First to Last. And last thing, Steve sent me this article. Mick Jagger's girlfriend, Melanie Hamrick, is not concerned about the couple's 44-year age difference. She's 37. He is 81.
I bet her parents are.
She said, I didn't think about it in an interview with the Sunday Times. Everyone's going to have their opinion. The former professional ballerina added, if you think about others' opinions, no matter where you are in life, you're going to have a problem and you're going to analyze it. I put the blinders on. Am I happy? Yes. Are the people in my life happy? Yes. Am I hurting anyone? No. Okay. They can mind their own business, she said. Jagger met his current girlfriend in February 2014 at a Rolling Stones concert in Tokyo. Hamrick, then 26, got tickets to the show as an American Ballet Theater dancer. Hamrick recalled that Jagger greeted her with a fist bump when they met backstage. That's like what you do with a little kid.
Yeah. Boy,
hey, come here.
I got your nose.
Yeah. The following month, Jagger's girlfriend...
What's the magic trick? Peekaboo!
Of 13 years, fashion designer Loren Scott died by suicide. Jagger started dating Hamrick that summer.
Where's your daddy?
She said that she was not starstruck by Jagger when their relationship started. She said ballet dancers meet some of the biggest stars and act like, who are you? Because to us, ballet dancers are the gods. That's who you study and look up to. You're so in your world. The interview also revealed the couple splits their time between a rented townhouse in New York City and a chateau on the Loire River in France, where their son Devereaux, who is 7, goes to school.
That's right. He's got a 7-year-old.
Mick has 8 kids altogether. And their ages are 53, 52, 39, 40, 32, 26, 25, and 7.
But really, I mean, have you ever seen him with the 7-year-old and how he treats that child? It's just...
I'm a big chubby bear with a
I
furry
make chubby
little
bear
tail.
with a big little tail and I run around the forest and I get in your garbage. Isn't that great? It's that bear with a little tail.
He has that chateau in Loire Valley, Preston, that you were talking about. And I studied in France when I was in college. And occasionally, I never saw it, but occasionally he would roll into town in his Lamborghini. And the town that I studied in was this town called Tours. And he just would drive right into town. He'd go to like the pubs and kind of
regular dude.
Regular dude who is Mick Jagger, Steve. Like,
do you remember though? Recently, there was the picture of
he was
him
in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just hanging out at a
Just
bar.
hanging.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
you guys have bears here. Yeah. No, I mean, listen. We were looking at a picture of them together. It's graphic. Let's put it that way.
It's their lives.
But if they're happy, that's all that matters.
Somebody texted in a quote from Charlie Watts, who passed away not too long ago, talking about Mick. Apparently, he said, "He's a randy bastard, isn't he?" Yeah, I'd say so.
I love that. But the guy's, endless energy.
Yeah. All right, and that is all I have in music news. We're going to take a break, come back in just a second, and we will get our letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize, so stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
And have you been in our studio before?
Yes.
You have.
That's your last question.
you should know.
I know. I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know?
Wait till you see him.
I have no idea.
All right, Preston.
Damn it.
Take off your blindfold.
Okay, let's see. Wait a minute.
Preston, this is one of the construction workers in our building currently.
He said yes to every question on purpose. You suck.
I don't even know. What is your name?
What's your name?
Chino.
Chino was good enough to do this.
Oh, my God.
We had a whole bunch of stuff planned, and it fell through. And at the last minute, Chino was good enough to agree to come over and be your guest.
Was the actual answer yes to any of those questions?
From the islands, right?
Yeah, Nicaragua.
Where are you from? Nicaragua?
These guys are doing great work in the building here.
I'm beating myself up. You guys are saying, oh, you ought to know. I mean, for crying out loud, a friend of mine.
Nick's like, everybody's getting it.
Black
Preston, how many black drummer, actor, comedian, musician, journalist friends are there?
Oh, my God.
Oh, good job.
By the way, and then I take you a-hole. Okay, so you know, and here's the deal, man. What's your name again?
Chino.
Chino.
Yeah.
So Chino, I never remember anybody's name.
Right.
So when I took my blindfold off and I saw you, I felt horrible because I didn't remember who you were. Hey, by the way, I want to point something out. Kat, I was giggling at the beginning of sports, and Kathy looks at me. She's like, "What's going on over there?" Ever since we got back from vacation, we do our sports intro is live. All those sound effects, it's not pre-recorded. It's Steve hitting buttons.
We're
Casey's
artists.
hitting buttons. Casey has forgotten the order of the sound effects that he normally plays, and he's off his game. That's why I heard a doorbell in there, and I'm like, all right, we never heard the
Yesterday
doorbell.
there was something else.
Do you want to
too,
try it
like-
again?
We
Like,
have
it's like
to
wind or like a hurricane yesterday, or because they've got hundreds of sound effects.
All right, I won't scream. I'm going to configure to what I always have it set.
Do you want to do it without the? I'll bring the music way down.
I kind of need the music, right?
All right, so go ahead.
Well, hang
And
on.
for those of you who hate the sports intro,
Here it
you're
is
going to get it
again.
again.
it is.
But hang on.
But I'll bring down the volume
Before
a
you
little
hit
bit.
anything,
By the way,
I gotta figure this out.
The sports intro was born in purposeful excess.
Just being ridiculous.
So,
of course. Yeah.
You guys remember why it started, right? It's because we were so excited when the Eagles finally made it to the Super Bowl. This was at Y100 that Kathy was doing news, and we couldn't wait for her to get to sports.
Nope.
Okay.
Don't remember that at all.
Yeah, and so the anticipation was it was exploded in sound effects.
Okay.
All right, hang on.
Let me know when you're ready.
I just don't know. The problem is, I don't know what my second. Like I know.
Don't think about it. Just
do it.
Get in the zone, auto zone.
Nick and I were actually just talking the other day about how occasionally we'll call into the conference call and we've been entering the same code to get into our conference call for however many years now, and like occasionally we'll be like, what you have, it just your mind just goes blank and you're like, what is that
Every
number?
once in a while, you sort of retrain yourself to forget it, and then you have to. That's why obviously jotting things down now and then is a good idea. But you think you have a case?
Maybe.
Do you know what you usually lead with?
I know what I lead with.
So let's start
In the last couple of days, I was hitting the wrong button. I was hitting 14 instead of 23.
All right, you good to go?
So I know I got 23 starts it all, bro.
Kathy, give us the kickoff.
Okay, and in sports this morning.
He has to scream, too. I'll bring the music way down. Ball sacks are yummy.
Ball sacks are yummy.
And the dolphin.
What happened?
There you go.
What is that?
That was
It
better.
wasn't timed up. I had to pause my what the F is that.
Oh, all right. Okay.
I think the music helps
that
with that.
sounded right.
Yeah,
Did it
was
sound
a little,
right?
A little better, yeah.
I couldn't remember if I do farts or not.
No,
Do
I don't think you do.
farts?
I don't think
No,
you
there are
do.
no farts.
No, not
It
in
would
sports
ruin the
intro.
sanctity
No,
of the
that's
sports
please.
intro.
That would ruin it.
Talking about the pride of Philadelphia here. So we gotta
Farts
get it
appear
right.
in the music news.
Yeah,
You know what it is?
What is it? Wrong page?
No. So I hit this, and then I start with that.
I killed it!
There you go.
All right.
I start with that.
I tell you what, that sounded closer than it sounded for the past couple of days.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
Shut up.
Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner tells Dr. Phil on his podcast, Fill in the Blanks.
Oh, my God.
Phil.
How about Phil McCracken?
In the blanks. That she got so much hate mail on social media, she actually considered suicide. She said, "It's weird. I say that I wasn't very depressed when I was younger, but I used to think about suicide a lot when I was younger, and I don't know why, though. Maybe it's just a weird fascination I used to have, but yeah, I used to think about it. And I
probably considered suicide after doing Fill the Blanks in.
She said, I don't think I ever would have gone through with it, and I don't know. By the way, Sophie Turner on Game of Thrones, as the series has progressed, she's gotten more beautiful along the way, and now because they're dressing her different, and she has regal, and she has a little more attitude. And
May
her
I say
eyes
something?
are just so gorgeously blue, and that red hair, she's stunning.
I'd say the same about you.
Oh, thank you.
As the show's progressed, you've gotten more beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
You know what, Steve, you're right. Absolutely.
That I've gotten more beautiful?
You have.
Thanks, man.
No doubt.
Then, no. Let's do one more story. Wrap it up. Okay, we'll end with this one. While Hellboy hasn't set the box office on fire, it tanked with only $12 million in its opening weekend. One of its stars, Mila Jovovich, is still loving it, and she shared her thoughts on social media, writing in part, all I'm going to say before going to bed is this. All my raddest filmed...
Oh, Jesus, man. Why is it happening? Why is it
What the hell is that? Is that Hydra?
I don't know.
I unlocked my phone. And
what was it?
It was Ghosts of the Forest, Trey Anastasio's new band.
All right, well, that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't hit play. It's a freaking Face ID, okay? So
you just looked at it?
I don't know if I swiped up, but it just started playing music. Preston, I was more interested in what you were saying.
So, according to a new survey presented by the Water Quality and Health Council, 51% of Americans reported using a swimming pool as a communal bathtub, using the pool as an alternative to showering or rinsing off after engaging in exercise or yard work or whatever it may be. Even though 64% of Americans know that pool chemicals don't eliminate the need to shower, people continue to do it anyway. By the way, the survey comes as experts from the council, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and, which I didn't know existed, the Pool and Hot Tub Alliance.
Oh, that's great. That's what Darth Vader faces off in the second movie.
Work to educate the public on healthy and safe swimming.
We shall crush the Pool Alliance.
Yes, my name is Mortimer Sanchez, and I'm with the Pool Alliance. And we think you're a bad leader.
The survey also revealed...
I don't care.
The survey also revealed that 24% of Americans would go into a pool within 1 hour of having diarrhea.
See, that's now listen.
Yes,
that's why public pools are just not my thing.
Spend all
However,
day on the toilet. You know what I need to do? I need to take a swim.
get some of that residual out.
To check the chlorine and pH levels for a personal public pool, the council is offering free pool test kits. through its 15th annual Healthy Pools campaign on its website.
This is the Alliance.
This is the Pool and Hot Tub Alliance.
Did you mention in this story, Preston, particular sunblocks affecting?
I didn't mention
You
this.
may go into the pool now.
Peter Cushing.
Moff Tarkin.
This is the finest pool you'll ever swim in.
What were you saying, Nick? Sunscreens?
Yeah, the reason that I bring it up is that I went on a snorkel.
Bowling in reverse on 93.3 WMMR. All my life will catch you tuned there. 10:31 with the Preston and Steve shows. We are wrapping up today's program. Post MMRBQ. Had a great time recapping that show earlier this morning. We also had a nice conversation. I want to thank Mr. Aron Magner for being on the program today. A Feast for the Senses is coming up, and it's music and food and a really cool event September 29th this Sunday at Ardmore Music Hall. Details at PrestonandSteve.com. And thank you to Kathy Romano and the Fall Activities list for 2025. And it is sponsored by Acme Markets, Fresh Foods, Local Flavors. 12 different activities for you to participate in because we have 2 honorable mentions.
True.
And that's all at PrestonandSteve.com as well. So if you did not get a chance to hear that live, all the information is right there available for you.
Yeah, and a lot of coupon codes. Not for all of them, but there are some businesses that offered coupon codes, and it's all on the website. So before you sign up, check for that. And if you do want to do one of the classes that you need to sign up for, I would recommend signing up early because they do sell out. However, a lot of these were big rooms, and they have a lot of spaces, but don't wait to sign up anyway.
All right, thank you very much, Kathy.
All activities.
One of our more popular things for you to participate in. Jackie Bam Bam is here.
Hey. Am I really here? Is it Monday already?
Really here. It's Monday already. And Pierre's out, so you are filling in. Dude, how much fun was MMRBQ?
It was great. I got to say, crossing over with you guys came on after me, and I love it because you're up there, Casey's up there, and I'm like, wait, where's Steve? And Steve's like the drummer of Night Ranger. He sets up all the way to the side, and he's standing up. I'm like, okay, there you are. So it was just great.
Yeah, we had a blast. And the gang, I didn't know that you and RJ was all over you from Hailstorm.
Yeah, him and me.
Really
I don't know who has more energy, me or him, but I think I got up earlier than him, so he beat me. But you were there in the hallway, and he put on his sports jacket like I was James Brown, like a cape, and you got a great picture of us. Thank you,
I'll make sure I get that to you. But we had a blast. All the bands. Anything stand out in particular that was a favorite of yours?
Interviewing Sonny. I was the first interview. Sarah hooked that up. She's like, "You want to do Sonny for POD?" I said, "Sure." So he came on the air with me, and what else? She and Silvertide, talking to Lizzie about, you and me, Press, we love 80s metal. I was talking to her about filling in for Skid Row, Steve Whiteman of Kicks, her vocal coach, and Cinderella, and she gave me a big hug. It was like the word family this year was so much fun.
Yeah. Definitely. That's exactly right.
And Steve, walking you out, when I switched over to my mummer's hat, we spoke. I walked you out to your car and hung out with Yo Romano, and I got a little loud with Nick. Romano, we didn't kiss. We'll do that next year.
No. I bet you and Steve, not me and you.
I know. I said, we'll do it next year.
And my right leg raised up a bit.
But it was one of my favorite ones. We had so much fun. All right, shall we do the letter of the day?
We shall.
All right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter.
The letter G, as in greatness.
All right, greatness, yeah. An Adventure Aquarium encounter is what we're giving away, and it is a 4-pack of tickets and an Adventure Aquarium merch pack. You can dive into fall family fun at Fantastic Pumpkin Glow at Adventure Aquarium, overflowing with aquatic pumpkin sculptures, and it's open now through November 3rd. We give that away on Friday. All right, what are you going to do today, Jackie?
Workforce blocks. We'll say happy birthday to the roar of White Snake and Deep Purple. David Coverdale, it was his birthday over the weekend. And, of course, Bruce is celebrating a birthday, so we'll serve that up. Chance at $1,000. The Well Good Money at noon. We'll give you that keyword. And in the prize golf, and speaking of 80s metal, I'm hosting Brett Michaels, my pal from Poison, at Parks Excite Center. So we have those tickets all week.
Nice.
Excellent. All right, I want to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by Duncan. Preston and Steve Show runs on Duncan. Also Acme Markets, Fresh Foods, Local Flavors. And also Wilmington University. Find your education home at Wilmington University, wilmu.edu. Tomorrow morning, going to be great. Number one, we have Tattoo Tuesday taking place. We have improv comedian Mr. Colin Mockery joining us. We love him from Whose Line Is It Anyway? And yes, ladies and gents, again tomorrow, we're going to have Sting on our program.
Wow. He begged to come back on. He had such a great time.
We finally gave in.
Yeah.
And
All
said,
right.
sure.
All right.
But yeah, we talked to Sting again tomorrow. This is exciting stuff.
Awesome.
All right, that's it. We're done. Rage on. Have yourself a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.
Preston and Steve.
On.